Hi, everyone. Hi. Wait. The sound's not right. Hold on. Where's my cursor? Oh no. Cursor? Hello? Cursor? Here it is. Don't listen. I mean, you can listen if you want to, but I just realized that there was one really important thing that was not happening right. Hello. My cursor is back, and so I think everything will be well. Hi. How are you all? What are you doing? What is new? Hi everybody, Rissa, Verum, PH, Skabanak. We should have audio now because it also might be a little bit too loud. Let me turn that down a little bit. So, hey everybody. The name game. Come on everybody. I said now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F, or an M will appear. And then I say bow at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fanner, and foe. And then I say the name again with an F, very plain. Then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time. And there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. Skabanak, bo babanak, banana, fanna, fo fabanak, fee, fi, mo mabanak. Skabanak. Hey everybody. Thank you for that resub, Skabanak. Where's my cursor? There it is. Pipe. Apparently I got an emote. Thanks for the emote. I got an emote. I don't know what it means, but I got one. Hey, thanks for that emote. Hey, bits. All right, bits. You know what? I am gonna sing right now. We're in the Money, as sung by Ginger Rogers. In the film 1933, Gold Diggers of 1933, which means I'm going to sing in Pig Latin. But I do have some questions about. There was a Riss had a question about the internet, which I want to tell you that story. Hey Schmelzer, PH said I stayed up to say hello before I went to bed. Oh, thank you. What's new with me is that Flying Bun is living with me for the moment. It's not ideal, but it's fine. Oh, hey. I'm glad that you could help out Flying Bun. That's pretty awesome, PH. Is that like you said? It's not ideal, but it's fine. I hope that this is overall a good and excellent thing. And you know what? Awesome. You know what I mean? Like, good for you for being good. How am I? I'm annoyed, but this is not the forum to go into the specifics. Fair Krellin, I will tell you a thing later. And so I'm going to sing right now before I tell you about the internet and then weirdness. Also the internet. Anyway, PH, you're a good bean. You're a good bean. Airway and hey, you know what I was gonna sing, by the way? I was gonna sing the name game. Is what I was like. I just put the megaphone to my face, and I was about to sing the name game, and I was like, no, the name game doesn't need a megaphone because by the time the name game was made, we had electric microphones, so I wouldn't need a megaphone. But you know, anyway, it just in my mind. Airway and hey, the anime. Airway and hey, the anime. Eve way at Gilead, way at weeks to take Gilead will. Airway and hey, the anime. E the ice skates are on say. Oh man, the Asian pray, ooh yari, ooh, through you a stay on way hungry, ooh. E bread leonsley, bread bronsley, ooh, today. And when we see the end, uplap the eye, get right in the eye. We're in the money, we're in the money. We've got a lot of what it takes to get along. PH. So hey everybody, I'm Tupress JP, and this is the Academic Foxhole. And it's Thursday. It's our Thursday stream where I stream a game on the Mac, and we are currently streaming Wandersong, which is one of the nominees for the Independent Game Festival Excellence in Narrative Award for 2019. You know, as you do, because it happens. Hey, Origami Shuriken. We have a giveaway. It's Etherborn, which is an indie adventure puzzler game, and we'll do that sometime halfway through. But now is the time in the stream where we chat a little bit of chatting. PH, I've missed you. That's all, PH. That's it. So, oh, and I'll be hosting Critical Role tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern. And I just thought I'd tell you that. Where you sometimes stream a little video gaming while you get distracted by chat and explain about your internet. Yes. Yeah, anyway, I just wanted to tell you that, PH, I just missed you a little bit, and I don't know why, but I just thought about that. I just thought about how I missed you a little bit. So let me tell you about the internet that happened. Now is the time of the stream when we dance. Well, actually, I have to do the Dieter dance, which is more like this, because that's how Dieter danced. That's how. Wait, you know, Schmelzer, you do see less boxes, but not really. The boxes that were right over there are currently in the closet because I moved them for the Cthulhu Confidential game, which I didn't get to stream last Sunday because of the internet. But you might want to know what that box is right there. What that is right there. Do you want to know what that is? That's really exciting. That right there is something very, very exciting. You cannot call an alias command from an alias command. Wait, what happened right there? Oh, you know what that is? Is it a cat box? No, you know what? I actually think that maybe Nightbot's being a little bit funky on me. Hold on a second. Let's see. I want content. Let me see. Hold on. Okay, that's VG content, cancel. And then let me go to my timers, my content warnings, edit. Oh, I see what that is. Hold on. I got it fixed. Because I just did a new thing. I did a new thing, which is really exciting with it's going to involve a little bit more fiddliness, but I did a thing which I think will be really cool. So I have multiple content warning commands, and exclamation point content is the main one, but I realized that means that if somebody is in chat and they want to see what the content warnings are for whatever it is I'm doing, but we're not doing video games, they'll pull up the content and I'll give you the video game content warning, not whatever it is that we're doing specifically. So what I decided to do was make the content command a shell command and then have a bunch of specific other content commands that then before every stream I go in personally and then do the alias for. So now if you do content right now, it'll give us the video games, but before I do Cthulhu Confidential, I'll just switch it over. So if you type in content, it'll give you the Cthulhu Confidential content warning. Or when City of Light and Shadow starts, if you type in content, it'll give you the City of Light and Anyway, I just did a thing, and I did a thing. I'm very proud of myself. I feel like I fixed a cool problem so that it'll be user-friendly for the user and just a little bit of stuff for me. Yes. So don't forget to explain this to me later. Wait, what am I going to explain to you? Wait, what am I explaining to you? Oh, Rissa, it's easy. All you got to do is just type in content and it's all good. I just have to make sure I do the back end stuff before each game. Like every time we switch to a different game, I need to just switch what the alias points to. It's fine. It's not a big deal. So I'm going to tell you 2 things. 1, internet. I'll tell you 3 things. I'll probably tell you 4 things. I don't know how many things I'll tell you. You know how my life is. Yeah, now this is, Jared's correct. Content is all you need now. So that over there is something super awesome and cool. Maybe I'll just show you. I'm wearing shorts though. Hold on, I'll show you. Because it's kind of like, what's this new thing? Hold on. Okay, so this is what happened, everybody. Let me put on my headphones so I can hear you, even though I can't hear you all, but you know what I mean. So I ordered, because remember how we got the subs, like the 750 followers, right? Remember, or 1,000 followers. We got the 1,000 followers. I do. I have legs, and so part of like the thing for the 1,000 followers, so I'd get this fancy new camera so I can do like video things on the internet. Yes, and so I have the fancy cam and I will show it to you right now. And then I'll tell you about the other thing that happened, because there are two things about it. So here it is. Here's the fancy camera, right? It is a Lumix G85, and this is like the fancy camera that I got. Last week before last, I went and I like worked on trying to figure out how to set it up and like how to make it work, and I was so excited, and I was like, ooh, maybe I can, you know, stream, because you could call me now Maxine. So the thing is, the C922, which is the other webcam that I have, which is over there, which is the one that I use when I'm streaming RPGs, when I'm hosting RPGs as a GM, because so this is what it is. What you're looking at right now, what I'm looking into right now, is the built-in webcam on my iMac. And the built-in webcam for the iMac is amazing. It's a great webcam. As you can see, everything looks great with the lighting. It's, you know, I don't look weird. It's great. Like, it's an awesome camera, webcam. And then I got the C922, which is supposedly and theoretically like a super awesome camera. This is it over here. So this is this is the other one. Hold on, let me. So this is same lighting, but it does not look as great. Now I can. I can turn on another light, so I've got like 5 lights on myself. And if I turn on this other light, it's not as bad. Do you know what I mean? Hello, Sea Spider. So like with like massive amounts of light, including one that is directly on me, this one's bouncing off. This one's now indirect backlight, a small sort of a warm light to make me not so washed out. So that's like 4 whole lights. And that gives me like, it's decent. Do you know what I mean? Be right. Wah. Be right. The name game. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F, or an M will appear. And then I say bo at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fan, or info. And then I say the name again with an F, very plain, then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. But if the first 2 letters are ever the same, I drop them both and say the name, like Bob. Bob drop the B's, Bo, Ob, or Fred. Fred drop the F's, fo, red, or Mary. Mary drop the M's, mo, airy. That's the only rule that is contrary. Be right, bo, e right, banana, fana, fo, fee right, fee, fi, mo, me right. Be right. Thank you so much for that 17-month resub. Also, Scabinak, you've got 37 months. You're old. I'm just saying that you're old. That's all. One might think doesn't make people look weird would be a more common feature for a webcam, but oh yeah, no, seriously. I had to learn how to do those color profile things to make my 922 look decent. Yeah, I think there's it's like you have to, like the LUTs, you've got to really sort of like do that. But like again, like, and I have messed with this particular camera a lot, and I'm like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Anyway, but I have a point. I have a point though. Let me come back over here. So here's what you need to know. And this is why, if you all watched Night Witches, the very first session of Night Witches was super choppy. Not for the audio, but just the video was really choppy and was like awkward. And I'm like, why is this choppy and awful? I've been streaming for quite some time by that time, never had that problem. I got a brand new iMac with like beefy RAM. Like it shouldn't have been a problem, but then it was a problem. So I was like, what's going on? So here's what's going on. Ooh, speaking of which, I need to go and talk to somebody about this who wants tips. So here's what's up. The iMac, the new iMac Pro, yeah, I messed with mine quite a bit. Doing a custom LUT was the only thing that made it look good. That Lumix will be way better. Yeah, so this is what I'm thinking, right? So the iMac has like a 5K screen. It's like this beautiful, beautiful screen with great resolution. It's really amazing. And when I am playing video games, what you're seeing is what's on my iMac screen, because that's where I put the video game. And then I put all of my like admin stuff over here on my other two monitors. And so I'm using this camera, and it's great. But if I try to screen capture, because when I first did Night Witches, the very first session, I put the zoom right here, and I screen captured the zoom, and I put all my admin here like I normally do, and everything was choppy and awful. It was really bad. It was like, if you can watch the first episode of Night Witches, it's on my YouTube. Well, it's linked to my. It's actually on the Geek Space TV YouTube, but I have a link on mine to theirs. But the point is, it was really bad, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. Like I like my computer should be able to handle it, and it turns out that the problem is that when you're doing that RPG, I was doing like 5 screen captures. I would say. I think I was actually screen capturing myself rather than going straight from the camera. So I think it was like 5 screen captures on this screen that's like a 5K screen, and basically that's just too much information. Like the video RAM just couldn't handle it, because it was just too much. Like the screen is too good, right? The screen fidelity is too good. It's too much information. It causes the VRAM. It's just, you can't do it. So what I realized I needed to do was I needed to get some monitors that were not 5K monitors, but like regular 1080p monitors. So now I have these 2 1080p monitors. And when I host an RPG show, rather than having the zoom on my really nice 5K monitor, I move it over here. Here. I move it over to one of my 1080p monitors. So I'll have the zoom right here, and then I'll have roll 20 up there. And so then I'll capture both the roll 20 and then also all the people for the zoom here. And because it's not on the big 5K monitor, it doesn't have problems with the VRAM, basically. And the V just doesn't have the range. And what this means then is that I needed a camera that I could put here, right? So that when I'm looking this way, you can all still see me. So that's why I got the C922, but I don't like the look of it. Do you know what I mean? I don't like the look of it. I think it's like, it just looks a little weird. It's not as warm. And I suppose I could do a LUT, but I also don't have Photoshop. I'd have to do some messing on that to get it to work, but no worries about that, because I now have this Lumix, this exciting Lumix camera, which I'm very excited about. And so I was going to set it up to use it. Is this related to the upload speed issues last weekend? It is not, but I'll get there. But I was going to use it for Cthulhu Confidential, not last week, but the week before, for the first episode of Cthulhu Confidential. I was going to set it up, and I had all this equipment, and I was all ready. And then I realized that I actually did not have all the equipment that I needed as I was ready to set it up. I was like, okay, I've got a tripod. I don't know how I'll attach the tripod, but I'll work it all out. It'll be great. And then I realized that if you want to use your camera as a webcam, you need a couple of things that I did not get. Specifically, these cameras have a battery that will last you for about a half hour or so. And I've got 3 of those batteries, but a half hour is not going to cut it. So I realized that I did some research, and now I realize I need to get a special, it's a fake battery. It's like a pseudo battery. You plug it in, and then you can plug it into your outlet. So then you can, basically stream from it. And so I needed to get that. Then I needed to get, and I got the Cam Link, the Elgato Cam Link, but I actually didn't have the right cable to connect it. So I went and just ordered those things. They arrived, and now I'm gonna see if for Sunday I can get this set up. And I have like a white color balance card. I got this stuff. So I basically needed a second round of gadgets so that I can actually use this as a webcam. And I think that I have got all of those, and I'm going to try to set all of that up so that it will work. That's my goal, and we will see. I mean, hopefully, Cthulhu Confidential on Sunday we'll be using the new camera. If I can figure out how to get it to sit over there in a way that will look, you know, this desk does not have a lot of space, and so I've got to figure out how to set it up so that it will work. Yes. Yeah, a half hour won't even cut it for digressions. Nope. Yeah, 30 minutes, right? Like, what are you supposed to do in 30 minutes? I don't even know. Yeah, but I think they're probably thinking about like small, quick shots as opposed to like one long, continuous shot. But I couldn't even. Let me go take a picture of the protest. Oh, it's out of juice. Wah, wah. Yeah, it would last a lot longer taking pictures. It would. Like if you're just taking pictures, it'll last a much longer time. And then also if you're just taking pictures, the batteries are really small. You just like, I have 3 batteries, so I could just like swap them out and I'd be like taking pictures all day. Just not as useful if you're wanting to stream for 4 hours, you know? So let me tell you what happened with the internet. Because that was a thing, if you remember, I was really worried about, right? I was very worried about the internet because I was not able to stream on Sunday. We were all ready for Cthulhu Confidential, and I could not stream. I was getting no upload. Normally, you can kind of see what your upload speed is like, and I actually think for my settings, for what I'm actually for this, because I don't. So I stream this channel. The stream that I do, I run it on 720 rather than 1080, and 1080 is like the most. I think I do 720/30 is what I do, and that's like, and like if you did like 1080/60, like 1080p 60 frame rate, that's like wow, that's like the way to go. That's like the high speed, very good, very intense H definition. I did have the tech bike come by on Tuesday, but the thing is that about the 1080p, I actually think I could probably stream on 1080. By the way, I'm going to turn off this other light because it's bugging me. Give me a second. I don't need this much light with this camera. There we go. So, while I think with my computer and with my internet, I could do 1080. I could do that, but I actually don't think I need to do 1080, and here's why. I don't think I need to do 1080 because, one, I'm not playing twitchy, like high-speed video games where I really need that fidelity. I'm doing a lot of, not that. But also, go to bed. Good night, PH. But also, I'm an affiliate and not a partner, which means that as an affiliate, I don't always get transducing. Transducing? Is that the word? Basically, partners get it. I think all the partners get it. And I think transcoding. Thank you, Scabinak. Thank you. Transcoding. That's the word. I think all the partners get transcoding, and I think that affiliates get it on a first come, first served basis. So if it just happens to be available when you start your stream, then you'll get it. No, you're right. Transducing is how microphones work. Transcoding. And the transcoding is where it allows you to change the fidelity of your stream up or down, or down, right? So if I were streaming on 1080 and you were a viewer, you could bump it down to 720 or 480, 520, whatever you got. And the thing is that not everybody can, not all viewers have the internet speed to watch something in 1080. And most people, I think, can do 720 without it being too much of a problem. I mean, like there are parts of the world where you can't do 720, where 720 is too much data. But most people, from what I've read, 720 is a pretty good space where you get the high fidelity, but it's not so much data that most people can handle 720 on their internet for the most part. And if I did 1080 and I did not get the transcoding, then people might not be able to watch the stream because it would be too much, like it would be too dense information-wise. So I just do 720 because I don't think I need the 1080, and because some people may not be able to watch on 1080, right? Yeah, if you transmit at 1080, we have to watch at 1080. And sometimes you wouldn't, because sometimes I might get transcoding. Like, I don't know if I have transcoding today, but oftentimes I don't. So like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, so basically I transmit on 720 for you all, because I know that not all of you might be able to do it. So, when I was on subsidized internet, I think I had to watch it 480. Yeah, right. So like, that's one of the things. Like, I basically don't want to do 1080 because I think it would lock out too many viewers Not that I've got a million viewers, but you know what I mean. Yeah. My video card goes to 80%. Oh, at 1080 60. Yeah. So like, I just don't think I need to do it. Do you know what I mean? So my point is that I have a point for this. The point is that I have paid for 10 megabits per second upload speed. The basic upload speed that came with my free internet was 5. And I was like, you know, I'm going to get the 10 just in case. And looking at OBS, it looks like when everything is going well, I'm probably hanging out at like 3.1, 3.2. So I may not necessarily need the full 10, but you know, for safety purposes, right? We're good. But, and here's where I'm going with this story. On Sunday, when I was trying to start streaming, right? So just for the record, right now I'm looking at my OBS and I'm looking at like around 3,000, right? Around 3 is what I'm using. About. You know, it goes up to like 3.2, 3.3, let's say 3.5 to be safe. Like that's about what I'm using. And that's with no drop frames and everything is fine. But on Sunday, when I was about to do Cthulhu Confidential and I was uploading, I happened to look over at my upload speed and I was getting not 3,300, I was getting 10, not 3,000, but 10 or 0 or maybe 1,000. I'm paying for 10, I was getting 1,000, but I was also often getting none, and I was getting like 80% drop frames, 90% drop frames. It was bad. And so I was like pulling off, trying to do my speed tests, and my speed tests were like shockingly, scandalously bad. It was all like sometimes I got zero upload speed at all. The audio was fine. And here's the thing that was really weird. The download speed was completely fine, right? My download speed is like 100 megabytes. And I had my full download speed, but I was getting 0 upload speed, 1 upload speed as opposed to 10. It was like really, really bad. And so I was like, okay, maybe I can, let me restart the router. Tried that. That wasn't working. Let me restart so it was like I tried to restart the router. I tried to restart open time. Let me make sure let me turn off backups right there. So I restarted the router, didn't help. I restarted my entire computer, didn't help. I was like, and it wasn't like if you have 10,000, right? And I was like, okay, I've got 10,000. I would be like, oh, if I get like 6, that's not great, but but I was getting 0. It was very bad. And I'd noticed on Thursday, my Thursday stream, I'd noticed I dropped a couple frames on Thursday. And I think I noticed a couple of frame drops on Saturday, but it was a little stuttery, but it wasn't too bad. And then on Sunday, it was just awful. And I was very distressed because, you know, a Jackie Dash was there and ready to go, and I was ready to go. All of my hats are right over here. Like, hat right there. Lab coats, like, you know. Like, all my props, they're all ready to go. And I couldn't stream. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't do it. I was very upset. And I felt so badly for letting you all down. You know what I mean? Like I was very sad. I love your emotes, Gabinak. Because like you were all there, I was there, Jackie Dash was there, we were all ready. It's very sad. And so then I spent the next couple of hours chatting with the internet person. I was like, hey, internet person, I'm having a problem. Can you fix this problem? And you know, they rerouted from there. We did a bunch of stuff. Oh, Krellin, you weren't disappointed then, because you know you weren't there. You would have been just disappointed. And they tried all sorts of stuff, and then they said, and it became very intermittent. And they said, well, we'll send out a tech on Tuesday to check it out. But if they don't find anything wrong with your internet, we're going to charge you $50. If they find something wrong, we won't charge you. And I was like, And they also said that I wasn't guaranteed 10 megabits per second. I was guaranteed up to 10 megabits per second. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm getting 0. So I feel like this is not appropriate. Anyway, so they set up the thing. I was obsessively checking, testmynet.com, testmy.net, and speedtest.net. Yeah, 0 is less than 10,000. That is true. Sorry, up to. Yeah. So I was like really sort of stressed out because as I was testing, that was Sunday, right? On Monday, some of you know from chat that like I would like sometimes hit 11 and then would drop down to 1. Like I would hit a test, would be 11, 10, and then 3 seconds later it would be 1 or 2, and then it was 5, then it was 0, then it was like really inconsistent. I was very worried that what would happen is the cable person would come, and they would test my net. And it would look fine to them, but it wouldn't be fine to me. And they'd be like, "There's no problem," and then they would leave and charge me $50. And I was like, I was concerned. So I got everything set up, right? I had my web pages with the testers. I also brought up Twitch with the Twitch inspector, so I could show them that nothing was sort of going up no matter what happened. The internet guy comes in, and I was like, "Hey, internet guy, I am not one of those users that does not know what things are," right? Like, because some people are like, "Oh, my computer doesn't work. I don't know why." And they're like, "Did you turn it on?" They're like, "No." And you're like, right? But I was like, "Look, I know stuff. Like I've cleared my cache. I've reset my router. I've done all that stuff. Like I'm telling you, there's a problem." And he goes and he like puts his little cable thing on the modem, and he's like, "Well, it looks, according to my little tester, everything looks fine." And I was like, "But look, it's not fine." Scabbyneck says, "I think it's related to the company that installed the 2 fiber lines from NYC to Chicago right through town. One for them to use and the other to lease out, presumably to Comcast." So, hey, Barontor. So I was really worried that I'm getting problems and he's not going to see these problems. And do you know what happened? And this is really interesting. Welcome in, Barontor. There happened to be someone else here that day. So Spectrum is my internet company, and the Spectrum guy that came to sort of see my issue, he drives into my parking lot, and there's another Spectrum truck also in the parking lot that does not belong to him, just some other random Spectrum truck. So he goes to talk to the other Spectrum person, and apparently somebody else, so one of the other apartments, had some kind of massive problem with their internet that somehow backed up the entire system and basically caused upload problems for everyone in the building, but most people don't use their upload at all ever, so nobody realized it. Like basically it was a much larger problem that most people they don't think about upload speed, so like nobody knew about it, but it had sort of come out that this one apartment basically had sort of ruined everything. And so my internet guy switched out cables and fixed up stuff for my apartment, and then said, when the other internet person fixes the whole thing, it should be fine. And I was like, okay. And it is Thursday. Wednesday, I was like obsessively checking and it seemed fine. And here we are Thursday and it seems fine. So it looks to me like they have fixed the internet. I hope that is the case because we've got Cthulhu Confidential on Sunday, everybody. Yes. Krellin says, yeah, a small gas boom town in southeast New Mexico did something similar. Fiber optic through the village for the village government to use and enough bandwidth to lease out to ISPs. Oh. So I think I've got internet stability is what I think. I think I have it, and I hope I do because that was ridiculous. And look, can I tell you something? It's personal. I'm going to tell you something personal about me. I am not annoyed by many things in life. Many things in life, dude. Like, there are things that annoy me about life. Do you know what I mean? But those are, like, not personal things. Like, I'm annoyed by injustice, and I'm annoyed by, like, bad analysis. Carlin says, their village IT guy was like, we're not always going to have millions of extra cash. Let's build infrastructure for the future. I liked working with that guy. Oh, that sounds good. Tentacles Cross for successful surveillance. Me too. But yeah, so like I mean, like I get irritated by like non-personal things, like I get irritated by bad arguments. Do you know what I mean? Like that always irritates me. So Jared says, so with everything going on in 2020, can we finally admit internet is utility? I hope so. Irritate. Yes, irritate's a better word. Like I get irritated by, so for example, I get irritated by indie RPG people who make bad arguments about D&D, right? Like, you know, bad arguments that are kind of pretentious and gross. And like, I find that super irritating. You know what I mean? But then I was just, you know, RPG pundit Urbanski, who's if you don't know Urbanski is an OSR person. He was sort of big in OSR for a really long time. He still exists, but I haven't blocked on Twitter. I don't know. But he's like he was a big OSR person. OSR, for those who don't know, it's like old school D&D, old school Renaissance or old school revival. And I was just doing some internet searches on The Forge and Ron Edwards, and I was trying to find I was doing like searches for like, I was trying to get like searches about people who didn't like Ron Edwards. I was trying to like find out like some of the other things, and I ended up stumbling upon his blog, and he I don't have Urbanski blocked because he blocked me. Krellin, that makes you good. And I came across his blog. And then the things he was saying about indie games irritated me to no end. It was like, because I remember this all kind of started in the 90s with, I'm proud of the fact that I'm blocked by most of the worst people in TTRPGs. You know what? You should be proud of that. That is a good thing. I remember it happening in the 90s, and it was this moment where, I was really frustrated because I would hear people on both sides making these arguments that were just really irritating to me, right? So you'd have like D&D people being like, ugh, Vampire's not even really an RPG. Vampire's not an RPG at all. Oh, people who play Vampire the Masquerade, they're not real gamers. It's not an RPG. And I'm just like, oh my, really? Can you just like, what is wrong with you? Right? Because they're like, oh, because whatever. And then like you'd have like vampire people being like, oh, people who play D&D are not real gamers. And I was like, I cannot with either of you. Like, knock it off, right? And it's just like, anyway. And so then I was reminded about, and there was like Urbanski talking about how like narrativism isn't a thing that happens in games. Nobody wants it. The Forge has done nothing. And I was like, yeah, if you think the Forge, and that he won. Oh, I forgot. There's this whole set of posts where, because the Forge shut down, and he's like, I won. I beat the Forge. The Forge and all of storytelling in indie games are dead, and I win as part of the OSR. And I was like, oh wow, your ego. Like it was anyway, it was like a lot of bad arguments. So I get irritated by bad arguments. Well, I would really like to explore the argument that V-Team isn't a real RPG. Well, it's because and of course, what's funny is you could only make that argument back then, because now in retrospect, it's way more of an RPG than some of the other games are, right? You know what I mean? But for him, he thinks that that players should not be having any kind of narrative agency. He thinks that's bad for games. He thinks that, I mean, it's just like, he doesn't like narrativism at all because he thinks that makes it stop making it. He just, oh gosh, he's just in a space. I don't know if I still have any of those things up. I might have kept some of them up, or might have actually just got rid of all those tabs because I just couldn't handle it. Who is this number? Never mind. I don't need to know. And the thing is, he really is that way, but he's not the only one, right? Like, I remember post-Forge, during the rise of the big story indie game movement, just like a couple of years ago, I remember hearing people, like seeing people in some of these threads arguing that games like Fiasco aren't RPGs. That games like Powered by the Apocalypse aren't RPGs, that none of these are really RPGs. And I'm just like, why do you care? Do you know what I mean? Like, it can be an RPG, just a different kind of RPG. And it's not like, and I think the thing that Krellin's explaining who he is. He's a jackhole that got a consultant credit on 5e and thinks it made him a big shit. Yeah. And he doesn't even really like, I just found a little bit of a post where he was saying that he actually liked original 3.5 in the beginning, and then it got to not real RPG for him. That 3.5 D&D got not real enough for an RPG. It started off being a real RPG, but then it sort of stopped being a real RPG at some point in time. Or not enough of a real RPG. Like, he's just, but I don't want these people in my in-group. Yes, Gabinak. And the thing is, I just am like, I think the thing that always got me, like, I have long been, and this is the thing I wanted to say. I think it's it's very complicated, basically being, I'll just put it this way, a GURPSer. Although it doesn't have to be GURPS. It could be Shadowrun, it could be GURPS, it could be any number of other games that were neither Dungeons and Dragons on this side, nor the sort of like the hipster indie games on the other side. That if you're in that middle space, it was a really weird place to be once we hit the 2000s. Like once we hit the end of the 90s, beginning of the 2000s and onwards, it's really weird being in that place because the entire world sort of forgot that there were games other than, My Life with Master and Dungeons and Dragons. And it was just like, I would see these two factions arguing about each other. And I'm like, anyone? No? It's still a bit weird. If you play a role and it's a game, it's an RPG. Yeah. And I think that Urbanski and his group think that things like Fiasco, etc., aren't game enough. And people who are into the window, etc., don't think that D&D is role enough. And you can still see it on Twitter. Like I just the other day saw an indie person on Twitter saying that D&D basically isn't an RPG. It's basically just a war game. And it's not an RPG, and that now we have RPGs, but those games aren't. And I was like, why are we doing this in 2020? Like, why? Come on, right? And come on. Yeah, when the fight was just gamist versus narrativist, all the simulations were like, hello? Yeah, yes. What a colossal waste of time and energy. I know. And Krellin, I want to sort of point out something that a follow-up from something that you said. I understand that everybody is anti-GNS right now as a concept. It's very hip to not be in it. Like, the current indie people are not into it, and like the D&D people aren't into it. Like, nobody's into it. It's like, it's the bad thing. Quite taboo. But I might like the version that was right before Ron Edwards a little bit more, but the reason why I like it was the whole point of the GNS model, or the threefold model before Ron Edwards sort of did stuff. And I understand that Ron Edwards is a jerk. I'm not saying that he's not. Is that the whole point was trying to get away from a binary, right? Because it was trying to get away from the binary that was existing before then. And right now, as we exist in this current moment with GNS on the outs, all we have are binaries. It's now indie versus OSR, or indie versus trad. We're just being set in this sort of like binary again, which erases a whole bunch of other games, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. The one thing that I really enjoy about the tripartite model, the threefold model, the GNS model, whatever it is, how you want to think about it, is that it at least gives a space for 3 rather than 2, and the space for people to move around that triangle. Because once you have a triangle, right? Like once you have a triangle, then you can plot yourself on that space in interesting ways that gives you a lot more sort of dynamic ways to think about things. Like I'm less of a... Ron Edwards at various times has been more rigid, right? Although I think his theory is a little bit better than his blog posts where he said sketchy things. But at least it moves us out of the binary, because I find those binaries often just don't work well, and oftentimes they don't make a lot of sense. That's all. Scabbynack says, saw someone get dogpiled the other day for saying he didn't like PBH +1 rule because OMG, you should only be concerned with RPing in this superhero monster killing game. Yeah, original just didn't really allow a spectrum, but I think people were coolly yeah, that's right, Krellin. Like he didn't really allow a spectrum, but he was also sort of talking about game design as opposed to in practice, and people were just like, no, let's sort of move around that. And I think that I think the threefold model before the GNS did allow for more of a spectrum, but I think he was trying to go for basically like platonic ideals to make things more clarified. But again, I feel like spectrum and moving in is probably how things actually function. So like that's fine. Yeah, but like people still do it. Do you know what I mean? People are still doing this thing, and that irritates me because, okay, OSR versus indie. That entire binary is bogus. because most OSR games are also done by indie people, right? So then all of a sudden, what do you mean by indie? What does that mean? Why are we, what are you doing? And then trad versus indie. Well, what? Hold on. What are you doing by trad? So here's the thing about binaries, which is different from a trinary. This is why I like trinaries better, or how we're going to do this. The thing about binaries is that binaries are often set up to either overtly or covertly favor one side of that binary over the other, right? It's often, I am this, you are that, and I am good and you're not good. Binaries are often binaries are often hierarchical. And when you go OSR versus indie, there's an argument about which one is like on the hierarchy, or trad versus indie, right? So, and how that binary is framed often will tell you about where people are, who thinks is, whatever. And anyway, I don't like it, right? I don't like it. The cool kids table, she's, yeah. And so that sort of a thing irritates me. That irritates me. That said, coming back around, this is a digression that comes to a space. There are very few things. You can't talk about indies and RPGs because there's literally only one big company in RPGs. Thank you, Krellin. Even that other one you think is big is like a couple dozen people. Yes. Also, the problem with indie also is that the term indie really comes out of things like film and music and publishing, and those industries work on a scale that is completely different from the RPG market in a way wherein indie does not make a lot of sense within the context of RPGs because our market is just so small and our distribution networks are so different. And that's tricky. Like, it's tricky. Makes me tired to think about the binary, just like our mostly binary play system. Yeah. I mean, it's just, but, right. So those, like, there are a lot of things that irritate me that are, like, I don't know, external to me. But there's, I would say, one thing that is a personal thing that upsets me. B. Wright says, remember, they say there are only 10 types of people in the world. Those that understand the binary and those that don't. Also, O's and ones, my friend. O's and ones. Krillin's like, I'm really tired of binaries, which sucks because my degree is in programming. Now I have a digression that I want to tell you as well. Are binaries inherently radicalizing? If so, we should be smashing our computers. Now I'm at three things now. Max Headroom, the TV show Max Headroom from the 80s, which was like my core cyberpunk. Many people have their own core cyberpunk, like the media that like really shaped their cyberpunk, and of course Blade Runner, right? But for me, my central core cyberpunk is Max Headroom. And there was an episode of Max Headroom where all like the genius computer programming kids, there's like a school for genius computer hacker programming kids. Yes. And Blank Reg is so great. I love that. And but these kids, like the genius computer kids at the genius computer kids school, they would do this thing which is hilarious because I think practically it would just not work out, where they would talk to each other in binary by like doing this. They would do like, right, kind of like Morse code but in binary, and they, like, there was a scene with them all doing this thing, right, and I just thought to myself, yeah, but if you were going to spell out words in binary, it would take forever because Z is 26 and 26 is a very long number in binary. I'm just saying that if you're going to actually sort of like give a secret message to somebody in binary, it would just take forever, right? It's gonna, that's such a poor bit rate. I'm just saying, you're like, and you're like, L, O, like it would just take forever. Did you know you can count to 124 on your fingers? In binary, right? You can do it in binary, right? Like each of the digits, right? Like up or down, like, right? Like, oh, I used to be able to count in binary. How did I do that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, right? for spicy. Technically, you get to 123, but you also start at 0. Yes. So, right? Yeah. I remember doing that in school. So the thing that will bother me, here's the thing that will bother me, which goes back to, by the way, this is all the things I'm telling you are all related. So there are things in the world that irritate me, like people being mean to each other in bad faith, like things like that. But when it comes to personal things, a personal thing that upsets me is, do not spend the rest of this, is when people don't believe me. That I don't like that. If I tell them something about what I'm feeling or what I'm seeing, and people do not believe me, this upsets me. Everything in your head is related because it's all just one giant spaghetti of string. That is true. And can you be mean to a person in good faith? Yes, I think you can. I think you can. I think you can be mean to a person in good faith. In the sense that, like, if somebody is being, let's say somebody is being a jerk, let's say, you can tell them that they're being a jerk in a way that might be mean, but you're being honest and truthful. I think you maybe should be a bit more diplomatic, but maybe sometimes you can't be. Like sometimes, right, you're going to be a little bit mean about it, but this is a thing that is true, and you're saying it for you know what I mean. But there are people who are mean to other people in ways that are not based in truth, in fact, and they know it, and they're just doing it to upset people. Like, I don't like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you're like, I'm going to just hurt your feelings and be mean to you because I just want to hurt your feelings and I make up stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just want to hurt your feelings. And that's not the same thing as like, I'm going to tell you this thing that might be a little bit bracing and it might be a little bit mean to tell you this, but I need to tell you because I want, things to be better or whatever. So I feel like you can. Right. Unintentional harm happens all the time. Totally. Yeah, Skyrim is like, I get so upset, and this is like, I'm with you on that. It's right there with putting words in my mouth in the list of ways to get irritated me. Yeah, that's it. Like for me, and I also get having a disagreement with me. Like that's okay. Like I'm actually fine with people disagreeing with me, and actually sometimes I like it. Like sometimes I like it when people disagree with me. Like all the trolls sexual harassing. Yes. And like I actually sometimes like it when people disagree with me, especially I love it when people disagree with me and they're really good. Do you know what I mean? Like if they've got a really good argument and they've really thought out where they're coming from, I want to hear their disagreement because then maybe I will change my mind, and that's really exciting for me. I love the opportunity of being able to change my mind if I get new information. I love that. And I love a good thoughtful disagreement. That also makes me really happy. So I'm happy with people disagreeing with me, but there's a difference between disagreeing with me and either putting words in my mouth or not believing me. And I'd love to disagree with you, but you're always right. No, but also there's certain things that are not right or wrong or just opinions, and that's okay too. Do you know what I mean? Like that's fine. Like I really like GURPS. I know people don't. That's all, and that's fine. Do you know what I mean? Like, and people could, and somebody could tell me why they don't like GURPS, and I would be fine with that too. Like, as a matter of fact, sometimes I really like when I run into people who don't like GURPS. Well, I run into two types of people who don't like GURPS. One, the people who don't like GURPS. They've played it, they've thought about it, they know why they don't like it. I love hearing from those people why they don't like GURPS. It's really interesting to me to find out what about it they don't like. I have always been excited to hear why people don't like GURPS when they've played it. But the second type of people are people who've never played GURPS. they don't like GURPS, they've never played it. They've just heard that it's really bad. And I was like, that makes me a little less exciting because I'm not learning anything from that one. Well, I'm learning that a lot of people have preconceived notions about the game, but they've not played it. And that's sort of irritating. But if you like GURPS, if you don't like it, like I had so for example, I was talking to people who didn't like GURPS. I was like, well, why don't you like GURPS? And they're like, well, I don't like GURPS because I want to be able to do more things in a combat round. Like they're used to D&D where you can do like 3 or 4 or 5 things in a combat round before it's the next person's turn. And they don't like, they can only do one thing, and that bothers them. And I was like, oh, well, all right. Like that's true. Like you can't do multiple, like, I mean, you can stack a couple of things, but you can't do a whole lot because it's supposed to just be a much faster combat round. And if you don't like that, you don't like that. And that was interesting. I was like, oh, okay. So it made me think about game design and stuff like that. So I like it. B Right says, one of the things that really irritates me in discussions when someone sets up a straw man position that is not in line with what I was saying, and then argues that this is wrong, so I'm wrong. Paul says, so I was reading a chat stream, and 2 women were complaining about the idiots that want women to play DHD, and one said, how about GURPS? The other said, ugh. And the first said, maybe you need to talk to Trooper SRP. He can explain why GURPS is a good thing. I responded to that, was like, oh. And the person who said that GURPS ugh said, oh yeah, actually I've never played GURPS. Like, she said, oh yeah, I never played it. I just heard that that's like a meme. So like, hating on GURPS, hey Takarosh. So hating on GURPS has become a meme. And I find that like frustrating because it's 2020 and most people don't even play GURPS. Do you know what I mean? Like, GURPS is not like, there was a time when GURPS was in the top 5 of RPGs, but it is not now. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was up there, like in the early 2000s and sometime in the 80s, like it was consistently up there in the top 5 along with Shadowrun and Rifts. Another game that's not there anymore, right? And it's just not now. So like, it's just weird to me that people keep going on about it when they haven't played it at all, most people, and like, you know, like, I just think it's weird. It's not a meme, it's a mean. A mean? Yes. Yeah, GURPS was one of the other go-tos. Hero sometimes, and I get that a lot of GURPS players are very enthusiastic about GURPS, and some people like to yell at them about that, but like, so are like, I don't feel like GURPS players are any more enthusiastic about GURPS than PBTA players are about PBTA, or D&D players about D&D. Anyway, Traveler was also up there, actually. I remember Rifts. Oh yeah. You know, so and Vampire, like they were like a couple, they were always in that top 5. But it sold pretty well. Like they actually they sold a lot of books. Not to mention the Infamous Battle, which never sold well. And so like, it's just weird to me, right? But that said, if somebody doesn't like GURPS, that's cool, because I want to hear about it. I learn things. But I don't like it when people, I'm gonna tell you a story. And this is an example of what I mean. So I was in the Army this one time, right? I was in the Army. And this was when I was in training, and there was an intramural soccer team. And so I joined the soccer team, and we were in practice. And it was the time for our first big game. And it was our first game, and the coach placed me on the starting team. I was defense. Just one time though, not for any experience. No, it's just one time. It's just one time, Carlin. And I was on the starting team, starting defense, and this one guy who did not get on the starting team was like, hey, I will help you warm up. And I was like, cool. So we're warming up before the game starts. The game's right about to start. We're warming up. He trips me, and I fall, and I break my collarbone. I'm laying on the ground, and he's like, get up. And I was like, I broke my collarbone. Probably just about like that. And he goes, no, you didn't. And I said, yes, I did. I broke my collarbone. And he said to me, if you broke your collarbone, you'd know. And I said, I do know. I broke my collarbone. And then I got up. It was very difficult for me to stand up from the ground because I'd broken my collarbone. And I stood up, and he's like, so what do you want to do? And I was like, I think we should talk to the coach. So we walk over to the coach, and if anybody who's in the military is going to know what I'm talking about, the way we distinguished between the teams, because it was intramural, was that one team was wearing road guard vests, and the other team wasn't, and my team was wearing the road guard vests, and those are like plastic, kind of neon orange, sort of like things you strap over yourself, like you pull over your, like it's like a, you might see people wearing them running, and they've got like, you know, light reflective strips on them. Yes, thank you, Scabianak. It's like the construction workers wear. Thank you. And I was wearing one of those. So we go over to the coach, and I was like, and the coach was like, what's up? Road guards, post. Thank you, Coldrake. And was like, what's up? And he's like, oh yeah, you know, Trooper says that they broke their collarbone. And the coach looks at me and is like, is that right? I was like, yes, coach, I broke my collarbone. And he was like, no, you didn't. And I was like, I did. I broke my collarbone. And he was like, if you broke your collarbone, you'd be reacting more. And I was like, I broke my collarbone. And he said to me, well, what do you want to do about it? And I said, I think I should go to the infirmary. And he said, so you're not going to go and you're not going to play the soccer game? And I said, I broke my collarbone. And so he's like, okay, well, take off your vest so I can give it to the person who tripped me so that he can start. And I was like, okay. But taking off a road guard vest when you have a broken collarbone is really hard to do and very painful. But I did. I took it off. And I was like, okay, so can we go to the infirmary? And he says, the coach says, ooh, I'll tell you what the coach says afterwards. He says, the name game. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F or an M will appear. And then I say Bo at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fanner, and foe. And then I say the name again with an F very plain, then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can rhyme. Crit twitch, bo, bit twitch, banana, fanner, fo, fit twitch, fee, fi, mo, mit twitch. Crit twitch. Hey, Lord Arctic Frost, how are you? It's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while as well. So the coach broke out in song. No. So what happened was that the coach says, well, what do you want to do? And I said, I think we should go to the hospital because I broke my collarbone. And he said, well, the game has started and I can't leave. So sit on the bleachers. And if you're still feeling bad at halftime, then I will leave the game and take you to the infirmary at halftime. And I said, okay. So I sat on these bleachers with a broken collarbone. And they're like, how do you know you broke your collarbone? And I was like, I heard it snap. Like I'm just telling you. And so I'm sitting on the bleachers for 45 minutes in intense pain until the halftime starts. And then the coach talks to the team first about what to do for the next half and gives them all this stuff. And I'm still waiting. And he's like, okay, I'll take you to the infirmary, you malingerer. We go to the infirmary. We go into the hospital. I see the doctor. The doctor just looks at me and is like, ooh, that's a green stick fracture. I bet that hurts really badly. I was like, it does. And the coach is like, oh, really? Oh, I just thought the trooper was just making things up. And so here's the thing. I told you I broke my collarbone. I knew that I broke my collarbone. I was in intense pain. I was not crying. I was not screaming. I was not freaking out, probably because I was in shock, to be honest. But also because I tend to react to physical pain by being very, very focused. It's if I'm bleeding or I have a broken limb or whatever, I tend to get very focused about things rather than freaking out. This is why Black women have a much higher maternity fatality rate. This is true, right? Because people don't believe them. Nobody believes them. And Chris is like, I'm not a fan of sports coaches in general. Too many bad interactions. Did he apologize? He didn't apologize, by the way. He did not. And so that was and that really upset me because I should be able to tell you that I'm not doing well and have you believe me. Do you know what I mean? And so when people don't believe me, that's the one thing that I don't like that. I will, you know what I mean? And so all the way back to the beginning of the story, at the very beginning of stream, I was super worried that the internet repair person would not believe me that there was internet problems if they just did their test and it showed everything was fine on their end over there without it actually, And I tested not just my computer, but also my phone. I was like, I'm going to test all the spaces because I want to make sure this is not going well. Luckily, because there was an outside person to confirm, he did believe me. And so then it was fine and it's all taken care of. That's all I'm saying. I'm stoked when it comes to pain. Did I take a salt tab? Oh, share. Yeah, it happens all the time. Yeah. Coldrick said, we had a dude walk into the infirmary and said, I'm having an appendix attack. He was not sweating, had no fever, and nearly zero pain. They would not admit him or even observe, so he drove to the local civilian hospital and got wheeled into the operating room theater in less than 10 minutes. Yeah, this is beverage. Turns out they caught it just before it ruptured. Yeah, and I think I think it's frustrating. It's like frustrating because like I'm not a person that is like, oh no, I'm sick all the time. Like I'm usually like, oh, I'm fine. But if I tell you, oh yeah, there's something wrong right now, there's probably something wrong, right? And that's all. That's, you know what I mean? Like that's all I'm saying. So that's I find that frustrating, and I was really glad that there was an outside person to confirm that my internet really was acting up, and that it right so that that I would be believed on that one. So you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, yeah. Sea Spider says they don't want to work. Nothing is ever broken. Not even when I preface it with, I'm an IT engineer and there's something wrong here. And look, Sea Spider, like I get. Verum says when
somebody's watching me.
I always feel that somebody's watching me, and I have no privacy. Whoa, I always feel that somebody's watching me. Tell me, is it just a dream? Lily Sparks, oh my gosh, welcome in, Lily. Lily Sparks is in the Aether's Walkway game with me that we play in on Fridays, which we're going to be playing tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern over on Laugh Love Lindy's place. And Lily Sparks is just so cool. You have to know it if you do not know it. If you don't know, now you know. There you go. The commercial ended right when you said my name, and that was exciting. Did you? I hope you didn't miss my singing the song for you. It feels very much like they're saying you're a liar. Yes, right? Like I don't. Yeah, I just don't. I don't. Come on, like. And here's the thing. Oh, you did. Oh. You missed it, Lily? Oh, well, hold on. Rewind. I have to sing the song for you because you followed. I always feel that somebody's watching me, and I have no privacy. Whoa, I always feel that somebody's watching me. Tell me, is it just a dream? Bow. Thank you for the follow. Yay. Yes. Oh wait, who was Lily? Lily, we have to make you Lily, we're gonna make you a mod. We're making you a mod, not a mod, a regular. We're making you a regular. No. We're gonna make you a regular. One of my mods, one of my mods read, thank you. So now you can. Yeah, Nightbot has no manners at all. Yes. Oh, I just want to say something really cool about Lily Sparks the other day. So last week. Yeah, I've got the hydration, order dinner. Yes. So Lily Sparks is in Aether's Walkway with me, which is a sort of like cyberpunky sci-fi game. And this is a spoiler if you haven't seen last week, but I'm going to tell you because it's amazing. So Lily Sparks is playing a character, Hybria. And Hybria, be right. I'm going to sing that right to tell you what happens. So Hybria's character is you know, like a little awkward, a little how do you put it? Like I would say she feels very type A personality, no nonsense, a little awkward, she's formal. And as you Arctic, hold on. Arctic, I'll tell you when you can unmute. When you can unmute. Yes. So nobody say what I'm going to say in chat, okay? So I don't want Arctic to be spoiled, but I'm going to tell you. But I will give the signal when we're done. So, so formal, and as you get to know her, you think, ooh. I feel like she probably was not given a lot of affection by her parents, and that's why she's a little bit awkward. And so you're kind of like thinking about what does it mean for a person who is like probably drilled a lot in math and like or whatever, and not really, or like manners, whatever kind of stuff is going on, made to be like the perfect child and not given a lot of space to have fun. Like I imagined that she lived in an apartment that was all white, you know, where she could never make a mess. Like so I was having all these imaginations about her childhood and how it might sort of tie into this kind of formality. In her character, and then on last Friday, we learned that this whole time, the character Hybria was actually an android, an AI in an android body. And then all of a sudden, all of the acting that Lily Sparks had been doing from the beginning of the show to that episode, I was like, oh wow. So I always thought her acting was good. I was like, oh yeah, Lily Sparks' acting was good. I like her characterization. It's cool. But then when that spoiler happened, when the reveal happened, I was like, oh, what? Because then I was like, oh my gosh, how brilliant. How brilliant. Because it was like long game, right? Everything made total sense. And then all of a sudden, what you got Lily Sparks being able to do two things at once, which was portraying an AI who did not know they were an AI, but also playing it well enough so that we as fellow players didn't think, oh, she's clearly an AI, but we thought it was like, oh wow, she must have had a really sort of rigid home upbringing. Do you know what I mean? Like, she was able to play Lily. You were able to play both of those levels so well that it was, in retrospect, it's totally and completely clear that you were an AI all along. But in the moment, we never would have guessed, because you're able to play that a kind of a person that we've known before, and it was brilliant. It was brilliant. And Arctic, yes. Hey Kira, how are you? Arctic, you are back in. So anyway, I just wanted to give some love to Lily Sparks, and you should watch tomorrow at 1 p.m. our show together. Spoilers are over. Oh, we've only had 10 episodes, Crit Twitch. Only 10. And they're not long. They're mostly 2 hours. So if you want, you can catch up. It's like, 2 hours, but plus a 10-minute break or something. So it's like an hour 50 for the most part. There've only been 10 episodes. So you can drop in. Just got out of work. So I wanted, thank you, Kira. It is such a good game. Also, say hi to Kira, everybody. Now, I think I got myself all the way around. In all of this. Missile Monkey! Hey, how are you? How are you doing? Falls doing work, so I can't catch it. Yeah, no, that's fair. Work is, but... Okay, yes, I'm going to watch last week when you go off air. Yeah, watch it. Okay. Lord Arctic, I'm going to tell you something. No spoilers, though. Are you ready? There is more than one amazing reveal. That's all I'm going to say. More than one amazing reveal happened last Friday. And it was like this, wah? And then it was like this, wah? And then I was like, like that. That's what happened. It was like that. It was like that. So I just want you to know that, Lord Arctic, you're probably gonna like your brain's gonna go and then with sound effects like that. That's all I'm gonna say. Your fate campaign starts tomorrow. Missile Monkey, will you say more about that? About your fate campaign? Like, what is the setting? What are you doing? Which, thank you, Lily. I also had a fate thought. Yes, and Lord Arctic, those exact sound effects are going to be what happens. 100%. 100%. Yes. I have a fate thought for you all. Fate, like the Fate Stay anime? No, Fate, the RPG system, which is, it's actually kind of old now. It's not that old. I mean, it's, it's not as new as you could think. It's a generic system that's pretty rules light, although you can add stuff in, and it's meant to be sort of it's a bit more narrative story driven. Very interesting though. I really like, there are a lot of things about it that I quite like. I was talking to somebody who doesn't like it at all, but I said to them, I bet you'd like it how I run it. I'll have to do a live watch record and then send you the video. Yes. Oh, okay. Here's all you have to do, Lord Arctic. This is all I ask of you. And you don't have to do it if you don't want to. All I'm going to say is, you might, if you want to, consider live tweeting your response to the episode. You could just put a live tweet out there and make sure at least I and maybe also Lily are tagged in that live tweet. Yeah, I'm just saying that there's like a thing. There's some stuff. That's all. Fate's good. Yeah, I was talking to somebody who was like, oh, I don't like Fate because it's basically not crunchy enough for them, and I was like, I bet you'd like it the way I run it. But that said, no pressure. But please do it. We will love it. Yeah, I mean, if you want to, Lord Arctic Frost, you could. Large rules makes my brain hurt. No, it's good. It's a good system. I tweak it. I use you can tweak switches, and I tweak some switches to make it a little bit grittier than it is by default. By default, it's a little bit cinematic. Hey, Hawkeye. But it's good. There are things about it that I really like. The campaign is known as BPO, the Bureau of Paranormal Occurrences. The players are agents in a quasi-governmental agency that investigates the paranormal. Oh, are you GMing or playing? I suspect you are GMing. Is this true? Is this true? If it is true, that's exciting, and I want to know more about it. Also, I had a thought about Fate that I want to share with you all. Yeah, because I think it could be really good. And what kind of tone, Missile Monkey? Is it X-File-y? Is it like is it light? Is it dark? What? Give me more. I'll have to go see if I have both of you on Twitter. Oh, if you don't, I'm at Academic Foxhole, and I think Lily Sparks is at Lily Sparks. Is that right, Lily? Yes. I think you're Lily Sparks on Twitter, and I'm Academic Foxhole. Yes, I am Lily Sparks. I am Spartacus. It could almost fall into Cthulhu territory fast. Yeah. No, I'm Spartacus. Nuh-uh, I'm Spartacus. What? No, me. No, I'm Spartacus. Okay. I have a Fate thought, but I want to. I just finished watching this show with a fiance. The Star Spartacus with Lucy Lawless, who was Xena, who I love. That one. No, my uncle is Spartacus. Wait. I think my second cousin twice removed is Spartacus. Right? No? Wait. Yeah. But also tell us your Fate thought, because I think we keep. Oh, this is what happens on this stream. It's true. You know who Spartacus with that temple on the chin? Yes. Good old. Kirk Douglas. So here's what it is. My Fate thought. I'm going back and forth on it. Like I just don't know. There is a rule. There's an optional rule that I'm going to change how many stress boxes the factions have for City of Light and Shadows. I gave them 6 stress boxes, 2 for each different category, and I think I think that's too many stress boxes. So I'm going to actually I'm going to say that they get as many stress boxes as their highest skill. So I'm going to sort of change that around. So if they by a starting faction has a level 2 skill, and that level 2 skill means that they're a level 1 faction, and I think I'm going to give them 2 stress boxes. And now our current group that's in City of Light and Shadow, I don't think they've leveled up their group yet for their last breakthrough, but they're going to be able to get to a level 3 skill now, which means they'll have 3 stress boxes for their faction. So I think I'm going to do that. I think that makes a lot more sense than what I've been doing before. So that's a little change, but that's not the idea. I have this thing that I want to bring up to you. Oh yeah, spend an entire stream mulling over stress boxes and factions. Yeah. So no, I think I'm going to reduce the number of stress boxes. I have quite a lot. Well, no, not the character stress boxes, but the faction stress boxes, which they can use. But also, Tango will be fine because we're going to start up season 2 like 2 months after the end of season 1, which means they're going to have cleared out all of their consequences and stress. So we're going to start, and they're going to be all fresh. That'll be fine. So it's gonna be a nice, fresh, open spot for them. But I'm gonna reduce the number of stress boxes they have in their faction, and they use the stress boxes in their faction to sort of do faction actions as well as to defend. So I'm gonna just reduce that to put a little bit more pressure, and also it'll make more sense because a larger faction will be able to do more stuff, right? And it's harder to sort of take down a larger faction. Smaller factions are much easier to sort of wipe out. So I think that actually makes more sense. Wait, who? Sea Spider. Will somebody go and make Sea Spider a regular, please? Please, because Sea Spider is great. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So yes, thank you. Wait, I think you didn't spell it right. Wait, you didn't spell it right, Rissa. That's almost the spelling. Oh no. Yes. Helen meets Angel meets MIB. Oh, nice. Do I really? Wait, that's not true, is it? Is it? Is it limited? Is that true? Why? Why? I don't want that. I want to have as many regulars as I want. I have a vanquish a predator regular. I feel ashamed, but also victorious. We'll just add them on. Oh, databases. Whatever. Like, it's not like I'm massively huge. Come on, people. I'm gonna figure this out. Or maybe we could do a thing with, like, followers or something. So, here's what I was thinking. And I don't know how I feel about this. But sometimes they all go to the same place. Like the stream we did 3 hours of seeming tangents, but they all tied back to a point he's making about Madonna. It's true. Usually they do come back to a point. Obvious. Often. Not always. 25 is double many typical streamers. It's true. It's true. Just discover action. That's what I want to tell you about. By the way, can I ask you something? Yes. How do you make your hair look so crazy? Oh, it's a lot of hairspray. A lot. It looks neat. Thank you. All right, so now we're gonna, while we're talking, we're gonna walk because we're getting out of there. Yes, Gabianak. Aren't you like the top 8% of streamers? I don't know if I'm the top 8% of streamers, but maybe actually because of affiliates. I think affiliates. I never know which were shifts from the stories of the game. All right, fam, I have to head out and play some Fall Guys. Thank you, Kira. We will see you later. Actually, this is a good point. I might actually be in the top 8% of streamers for all I know because of the way that like affiliates go. I mean, that actually might be a thing. Okay. All right, everybody. So I got one, but the problem is I don't remember what my commands were. So there's this one. There was this one. And then there's the other one, which was... No? That's the one. That's the one. I remembered it, everybody. I remembered it because I feel like a cool person. Here we go. Hey. Look at that. I remembered it. I feel like a good person. I've never played Fall Guys. What kind of game is it? What kind of game is it? I don't have any of those. Friends? You have friends, Lily. You have 27 people watching your digression sort of playing right now. That's true. I actually think that probably numbers-wise, there's probably, I think the number is in there somewhere. That actually, I think that if you make affiliate at all, you might be like the top 8% if you hit affiliate. So anybody who is an affiliate is like, what percentage of Twitch streamers are affiliates? They say. Do they give me numbers? Give me a number. Give me a number. I just want to know. I just want to know how many people. That's all I want to know. This is all I want. Kind of like one of those rolling balls down a maze, but tiny minions wearing weird costumes. So okay, wait. Okay, Twitch statistics. All right, let's see. Twitch statistics. Average Twitch. That's not interesting. Amazing Twitch statistics. Give me some actual statistics. 40 billion minutes watched per month. There are an average of 3.7 million unique Twitch broadcasters per month. 3.7 million, everybody. Okay, that's great. Give me more. That's about mobile. That's fine. That's not interesting. Bits, viewing history. Average user spends 97 minutes daily on the platform. 29 plus billion chat messages have been sent. Twitch emotes, whispers, viewership. The United States accounts for 20% of Twitch viewers. Interesting. Peak viewing time occurs 4 p.m. Eastern. Fortnite is still the most popular game. Over 9 million channels. Charity. Okay. All right, wait. Here we go. We got it. Found it. There are... Somebody do the math. Someone do the math. There are math people here. Are you ready, math people? So we said there are 3.7 million streamers, right? That's what we said? Yes. Right? That's what they said? There are 3.7 million streamers? That's what I said, right? Yeah, so they're on average 3.7 million unique broadcasters per month. Okay. Okay, so people do the math. There are 27,000 partnered streamers. Lord Arctic Frost, you just got me right there. And then got there ahead of time. And apparently there are 220,000 affiliate streamers. So what percentage of the Twitch streamers are affiliated and which percentage are partnered? This is, so there you go. So I want to know, so 0.7% are partners, and then what percentage are affiliates? 220,000. Hey, Moopin, thanks for the boop. Partners, so you're looking at like 6.7%. So yes, Kira, I don't know if Kira's still here. If you're an affiliate, you're in the top 7% of, if you're an affiliate, you're in the top 7% of Twitch streamers. And if you are a partner, you're in the top 0.1% of Twitch streamers. Yeah. And here's the thing. I bring this up because I think that people look at their numbers and they think, oh, I'm so bad. I've got only 7 viewers. Like, actually, if you hit affiliate, you are like top 6%. I still affiliate too, I think, unless they undo it. No, they don't undo it. I think there is a way to, I think they will undo it if you don't stream for like a year or something, or like 2 years, or I think there's like a long time period. And after that time period, then yes, but otherwise I don't think so. Remember how your math teacher said numbers would be important sometime in your life? Yes. Also, hey, Moopin. Boop. Oh, I love that boop. So I'm just saying, right, that like, yeah, partners 0.07%. Check that out, right? I'm just saying, it's, you know, it's not a lot. So, Jersh boop. Affiliate is 6%. 6.7 is partners plus affiliates. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. So all I'm saying is that, like, if you make that affiliate, that's like a really big deal. Like I'm saying this because I think that sometimes people, they just don't appreciate that they've done good stuff. You know, that's all. That they've like you did a thing. That's all. Check it out. I mastered this stupid broom. Now I can get us anywhere in the city. So we can finally meet the... You met the queen already, didn't you? Yeah? Well, great. So you got the Overseer song? Yeah. What's wrong? 8 p.m. your time. What time do you need to wrap up for CR? I love the art in this game too, Lily. I'm probably gonna wrap up a little after 9-ish. Like 9:15 maybe, or so around then. 9:20, let's say. But we're also gonna do our giveaway really soon. She works so hard. What's the problem? The war didn't end, Miriam. Even after we came all this way, we couldn't change anything. Yes, it's a giveaway. Our giveaway is gonna be Etherbound, Etherworld, Etherborn. Etherborn is an indie adventure puzzler, and I've got a giveaway code for it. So like, I'm gonna give it away. I'm gonna give it away now. I really feel sorry for Mim, and I think Lala does too. I do. Like, she's got a lot going on, our Mim. So here's what's up, y'all. Just make sure you say something in chat, like in the next 5 minutes, and then we're gonna do the giveaway. Red Hot Chili? How many times do I have to tell you the world is ending? War or no war, it doesn't matter. We got the song, so we have what we need. We can meet the Overseer. Hop on my broom and let's go. Before the invasion. Or you can meet me later, if you still have stuff to do. I'll mark on your map where to find me, but keep it quick. Oh, I actually think we've been through the whole entire city, right? Like, I feel like we can go now. I'm still enamored with Mira Ghost. Me too, the ghost girlfriend. I think we've been through the entire city, so I don't think we have anyone else to talk to, right? Right? Oh, she has the best sassy attitude. I think we could probably just talk to her, because I don't think we have anybody else to talk to. I don't think, but I could be wrong. I mean, it's entirely possible, but I think, wait, don't talk. Start taking orders for nachos. Yes. I think, because it doesn't look like there's anyone else here, right? This is not what it looks like. Remain stealthy until it rolls a nat 1 and trips and hits the gong. I hate when I hit the gong. Do you remember that song Bang a Gong by... Yeah, I don't think I can talk to anyone else. Also, I love nachos. Yeah, we're gonna just go... So look at this. It doesn't look like we can talk to anyone. Oh, and I don't have the ghost girlfriend anymore. Yeah, I think we're done with the city. Alls. Delta Dawn, not Bang a Gong. Because the thing about Bang a Gong is that there was the original from the 60s, and then there was the cover from the 80s. Who was doing the cover? Do you remember? Oh, I remember the Gong Show. I remember I used to watch the Gong Show. Speaking of the Gong Show, one of the things about the Gong Show that was always like, so in the Gong Show, I was always obsessed with JP Morgan, T-Rex. Yeah, T-Rex was the original, but I think there was a cover by not T-Rex, right? Who did the cover? I feel like the cover was like Robert Plant or something. Power Station. That's what, thank you, Coldrick. Power Station. Yep. Yes. Thank you. I was like, T-Rex is the original, but it was the Power Station. Yeah. their version, referred to as Get It On Bang a Gong in the US, was released as their second single from their debut album. Thank you. Heads Up Forever. The Gong Show still, and they just call it Country's Got Talent now. Actually, that's true. That's true. Hey, Crit Twitch, I'm going to just roll right now because it's been 5 minutes. I'm going to roll it, see who it is. Hey, Nightbot, will you tell us who's going to win Etherborn, our indie adventure puzzler? Wizard Styles! Hey, Wizard Styles. I remember the insanity known as the Gong Show. I can't remember who won the first Gong Show. Wizard Styles! Wizard Styles! Wizard Styles! I hope you're here, Wizard Styles, because I need to find Wizard Styles in chat, because I cannot whisper Wizard Styles. There we go. There we go. Hey, Wizard Styles. Wizard Styles, I'm going to whisper you right now, and I'm whispering you the code for Etherborn because you won our giveaway. You won our giveaway, Wizard Styles, and I want to give you some love for that one. There you go, and this is it. This is it. Are you ready? It's in there. I have sent it to you. I've sent it to you. You're welcome. Let us know if it's good. Let us know if you like it. Boom. Perfect. Now my life is good. This is what my life is. Do you remember all the behind the scenes talk about Chuck Barris being a secret CIA spy master? I do remember that. I also remember, whenever you're ready, hop on my broom. I can meet you at any edge of the city. Check your map if you want. No, I'm ready. Ooh. Here we go. I also remember something about the Gong Show, which I thought was really interesting, was that, so Gong Show's old school, right? Back in the day, where a show would be aired in the on the East Coast, and then it would be aired 3 hours later on West Coast time. Oh yeah, the Unknown Comic, and the Gong Show would do this thing where they like to try to get like saucy, inappropriate things on air, and I love the Unknown Comic, and they would try to get like these saucy things on the air, but they knew that the censors would like watch them, and so if they had any sort of like saucy skits, they would cut the skit. So what the Gong Show started doing was putting some skits on that were like completely inappropriate, so that the censors would see that one and cut that one and not the one that they really wanted to get through. And they had this number where they had these two women eating popsicles, like in a very clearly fellatio sort of a way, which they figured was going to get cut, right? That was the act they figured was going to get cut. And then it didn't get cut, it got through. And so they aired it on the East Coast version, and then people were like, wait, this is really appropriate. So then they cut it for the West Coast airing. And I just remember that would be a thing that would happen, that because I lived on the West Coast, that sometimes things would happen in award shows or whatever. And then by the time it was re-aired for the West Coast, whatever it was cut. And we missed the outrageous thing on the West Coast all the time. Yeah. Wow, Miriam, you fly this broom really well. It's like you never lost your old one. Meh. I'm definitely not as good with this one, but thanks. I'm really sorry, Miriam, about your broom, and also, we promised to work together more, but I met the Queen without you. Are you upset with me? Nah. I'm so upset my broom broke, but I'm not mad at you. I had a lot of stuff to think about anyway. It was weird being in a city of other witches. I thought it'd be a place where I fit in, but I didn't. That just means you're special. Well, maybe. I don't want to be so special. I've been special my whole life. Around Delphi, me and Safi were the only witches. I never knew someone else like me. I guess I still don't. It doesn't feel good to be different like this. I feel like I'm just messed up, and I'll never fit in anywhere. I don't fit in either, Miriam. What? Yes, you do. Everywhere you go, you make lots of friends. Everyone loves you. Nobody loves me. I love you. I mean, like a friend? I know. And maybe I do make friends, but it's not because I fit in or I'm like them. Everywhere we go, I'm an outsider too. Just being on this adventure is wrong for me. I'm not a hero. I'm not supposed to be here. But you make me feel like I am. We're outsiders together. I'm glad that we're friends. You know, you're probably the only person I know that I'd call a friend. I'm glad we're friends too. Oh. That's okay. And if outlandish stuff happens on the West Coast, that is fair. That is fair, Hawkeye. Miriam is our modern day version of Kiki's delivery service, only a bit gothier. Yes. Yes, sister. Oh, outsiders. Hey, Lord Arctic and people old enough to remember. The Outsiders was a Brat Pack film, and everybody seems to have forgotten that, right? Because everyone sort of only thinks of the Brat Pack as like the John Hughes films, but The Outsiders was totally in there, and that's how come like C. Thomas Howell was a member of the Brat Pack, and that whole group of like, that whole group. I'm just saying. And also St. Elmo's Fire. Like, there are a bunch of Brat Pack films. They weren't all just John Hughes films. That's all. I did some research in the city. We're going to meet the Moon Overseer, the Moon's Queen. And if I understand right, we're going to have to play the song I learned and then the song that you learned at the same time. No idea why, but it means I'll enter with you. Pretty standard by now, right? We'll probably land far apart like last time. Less than 0 totally counts, Rissa, because less than 0 is how James Spader got to be. James Spader and also, what's his face? Iron Man. Hello, Toad. Iron Man, what's his face? Thank you, Robert Downey Jr. How they all got to be part of the Brat Pack as well. The Outsiders is a 1993 American coming-of-age drama film directed by Francis Ford Coppola. It was all of that. Oh, wow, St. Elmo's Fire. I really need to watch that one again. Have not seen. Me neither. And that's the one that put Demi Moore in the Brat Pack. Yeah. Isn't that weird? But I'll meet up with you ASAP. That's the plan. Any questions? So, also I can't see her because the game's a little bit buggy. But it's fine. Tony Downey Jr. The hero? Oh, her. I heard the Witch Queen sent her off to go find a princess or something, but that princess died. Awesome. I mean, not awesome, but that'll keep her occupied for a while. So that's good news for us. Any more questions? How are you feeling? Huh? I feel fine, I guess. Pretty feelings out right now, and ready to go meet an overseer. Yeah! I couldn't do it without you, Miriam. Yeah. Any more questions? But the invasion. Yep. It's today. Looks like we beat it, though. Do you think everyone will be okay? Probably not. But what else can we do? If these idiots want to fight each other, I guess we just have to let them. Stop giving me that look. We're gonna save the world, remember? We don't have time to fix every problem on the way. Any more questions? Although, actually, I think that by solving the problems along the way, that will allow all the songs to work, because the songs are only part of the whole thing about... It's all about, like, super hippie harmonic convergence, Miriam. We've got to get everybody feeling better, and then it'll work. Why do we land fall apart? I don't know. Well... The thing about the spirit world is, none of it is real the way things are here. It's shaped by your mind and by the overseer. That's why it goes empty when an overseer dies. And different people see different things in it. I bet it looks really different to the hero. So the space there is really chaotic and shifting, distorting around each person there. It's probably basically impossible for people to find each other, except the castle where the overseer lives. It's a center that's the same for everyone. So that's probably why we find each other there. Guess I knew after all. I just never put the pieces together. Did that make sense? I can explain it again if you want. Any more questions? Nope. Okay, great. Let's get it over with. Oh, okay. Oh, 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 oh. I'm doing the song, everybody. Ooh. Uh-oh. Big churchy music, everybody. Ooh, nice. I need that a little bit louder. You can't hear? I'll turn it up for you. Woo! Cursor. Ooh. Here. Woo. Okay. Wow, The Outsiders had a star-studded cast. Well, they weren't stars then. Ralph Macchio, Tom Cruise, Matt Dillon, Rob Lowe, Patrick Swayze, Emilio Estevez, and more. Yeah, Kuldrick. That cast was everything back then. Everyone was like, oh. Lily says, I have this on the background while I'm working, and I'm super enjoying pretending that this is all just a long conversation that Trooper's having with himself. It happens. Hawkeye says, I remember reading a number of the S.E. Hinton books, such as The Outsiders, and that was then, this is now, for adolescent novel class, before they were called YA. Oh, that's interesting. Now I want to ask everybody a question. I want to know what all of y'all's YA novels were back in your day. What were your YA novels? Okay. Oh. Yeah, the late 70s. Yeah, I want to know what your novels were. I read mostly Stephen King books during that time. Oh no, I'm stuck. I've read more YA novels in the last 10 years than I did as a YA. I think that's also fair. Carl says, the closest YA novels I had was the Tamara Pierce. Yeah, that makes that certainly counts. As above, Dinty Hawker Shoots Smack. Hunger Games, Uglies Trilogy, Graceling Trilogy. And it's hard for me to figure out the difference between young adult and kid, but like I feel like things like Harriet the Spy was definitely a kid novel. So I think like I read The Hobbit, The Chocolate War and After the Chocolate War by Robert Cormier, Tanith Lee. Oh, comic books. Yeah, I read comic books too. It was a long time ago. Harold and Maude. Yeah, that was a good one. Young adult includes romance. I think that's the most significant difference. Oh, Lily. Oh, that's interesting. I think it might also be the age of the protagonists, right? Like, I think that if the protagonists are like 12 or 13, it's probably not young adult, but if they're like 15, 16, 17, then it is. Maybe. I also was reading some of the F. Scott Fitzgerald Great Brain, but that might be a little bit too young. There was a fantasy sci-fi book called The Weathermonger that I read. I was reading a lot of, to be honest, at that time, besides comic books, which is true, I was also reading a lot of like the TV show V, the miniseries. They had novelization, so I was reading like the novelizations for V. Some horror books. There's like a horror anthology called Shadows. It was like short stories of horror short stories. I was reading those. But age also comes with romance. Yeah, that's fair. Wrinkle in Time, Great Brain, Harriet the Spy. Yep. Oh, manga. Oh, I was reading a lot of manga too. Yeah. Honestly, used to just shop a lot from bookstores. It's fair. I'm stuck. Eep. Oh. Are you a human? Yeah, wives are about life first a lot. It's true. I was into Dragonlance books. Yep. And then for some reason, Edgar Allan Poe, but we won't go there. Lord Arctic. You should always go there. Always. Oh, you know what I was reading? Now I'm thinking about it. I was reading Ursula K. Le Guin. I was reading a bunch of her. I was reading like Lathe of Heaven, Left Hand of Darkness, The Beginning Place. The Beginning Place was definitely a YA book by her, and I read that one. How do the Dragonlance books age? And catching up with the hippie area mess like Mr. Natural and Arkham. Ooh, Arkham. R. Crumb. Oh, Left Hand of Darkness is amazing. Amazing. Yeah, Le Guin. Oh, all my peers are reading a lot of Piers Anthony. The Xanth novels are super popular amongst my peer group. Now, there were things that were popular amongst my peer group that I was not reading. Like, a bunch of people were reading Piers Anthony that I was not reading, and a bunch of the gals in my group were reading the Flowers in the Attic trilogies. Well, I don't know if it was a trilogy. There's like a bunch of Flowers in the Attic books. But, you know, the V.C. Andrews, all those V.C. Andrew books about incest, Southern Gothic incest books. That was very popular when I was younger. I really like the ones I listen to a lot better than the Drizzt books. Oh, interesting. Dragon Riders of Pern, that's another one. Dragon Riders of Pern, yep. Mists of Avalon, I read that one. Firebrand, which is another Mary Zimmer Bradley. Neuromancer, yep. Snow Crash, yep. Bunch of cyberpunk. Earthsea, yeah. Neuromancer. Are you human? Yes. Hello. I read a lot of comic books. A lot of comic books at that time. Yeah. And yes. I don't know if Mists of Avalon is YA, but it was something that a lot of people in my circle were, hey, Atomica, were reading in that age range. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a, like, I don't know if I would call Lord of the Rings YA either, but a bunch of people in high school were reading them. So it's a, yeah. Yeah. Oh, the Asimov robots. Yeah. So it's tricky because I think there are a bunch of sci-fi fantasy things that people in high school were reading, but I don't know if I'd call them YA, but we were really interested in them. So that's tricky. I don't know what you say that. Sanctuary by Ikegami and Fumimura was a manga that I was super, super into when I was in high school. Earth is when the reference is included in Burning Wheel. Oh. Awkward first review of Miss Avalon that came up on a Goodreads page. Should read a book written by a woman who sexually molested her own daughter for years and pretended her husband was a convicted pedophile. Yeah. Yeah, that was like, it's bad. You know what I mean? Like when you're like, ooh, Hello. I'm the Moon Fairy. I've been hiding here for a long time. You must be the hero, right? No. Oh no! Things have gotten very bad. The Moon's Queen is very angry. And monsters started appearing here. They took away my only friend. That's why I hid. I'm not very brave. My friend is, though, if I were brave like she is, I would go rescue her. But I can't by myself. Oh, I can help you. Eep! But you aren't the hero. Well, that's okay. I'm a bard. Well, I don't know what that is. But if you can help my friend, that would be great. Ooh. Thomas, like, are we talking books? I got a book I want to read called Scythe, but I also got Pledge Republic, and I decided I need to read that first. Gotta have learning before fun. Yes. Oh, we're talking about the books we read as young adults. Like, what were our young adult books? So we're sort of thinking about like, you know, what were our young adult books? What were we reading as basically, let's say, in high school and maybe also middle school, like sort of middle school, high school range? What were you reading? I was reading novelizations for V. I was reading a bunch of comic books. I was super into Arion, Lord of Atlantis, Amethyst, Princess of Gemworld, New Teen Titans, House of Mystery, House of Secrets. Some of the, like, yeah, there were some like horror anthologies that I read that like really got to me. Clive Barker had some horror anthologies. I was reading those. Hitchhiker's Guide. Let me blow you with this. S.E. Hinton wrote The Outsiders. Wait. Hawkeye, what? S.E. Hinton wrote The Outsiders when she was 16? What? Well, good for her. Good for her. Vonda McIntyre. Speaking of Arthurian books, my favorite take on Legends of Arthur was Guy Gabriel Kay's Flonavar Tapestry. Oh, I haven't read that one. Speaking of comics, have you read the Sandman comics by Neil Gaiman? So here's the thing, Lily. Here's the thing. Okay. So Lily, this is what you need to know about me. I am the kind of nerd who, for some reason, always ended up reading the nerd things that were not the center nerd thing, but the side nerd thing. So in the realm of Vertigo comics, right, which is where Sandman came from, I did read Vertigo comics, but I didn't read Sandman. I read Shade the Changing Man. That was like my Vertigo, was Shade the Changing Man. And then I think 100 Bullets was on Vertigo. So like there's a bunch of Vertigo stuff that I read. I just ended up not reading Sandman, which all my friends did because all my friends were also super goth. Like, you know, but I was like, oh yeah, like I know it. Like I know Death. And how much she looks like Robert Smith from The Cure. And I know Sandman, but I didn't read Sandman. I was reading Shade. Yeah. And it was just one of these things where like, I didn't play Magic, I played Vampire. And it wasn't that, and it's important to note that, Shade the Changing Man became Shade the Changing Woman. Oh, that's so cool. I should find out what they're up to. And the thing is, and I just need to say this is really important. I didn't read these other things because I didn't want to read the mainstream thing, because it's not like Sandman was really mainstream. Do you know what I mean? And what ends up happening is that very often, it was the same thing with Magic the Gathering, I picked up a thing, like usually there was like more than one thing happened at the same time and you didn't know which one was going to be the big one. And I picked the one that I liked and it ended up not being the one that was the big one. That just ended up being how that happened. Like I was like, oh, I could play Magic or I could play Vampire. Oh, I don't know which one. I'll play Vampire. And then I picked the one that did not become the huge one. None of my friends read comics, so everything was not mainstream for me. Yeah, and it's the weird thing, right? Because in the realm of comic books, Sandman was not the mainstream one. The mainstream one was, if you're in Marvel, X-Men when I was growing up, right? It was X-Men if you were a Marvel person, and Batman if you were DC. And then so like Sandman was like, ooh. But if you were into that, then like the other ones would be like, yeah. So I just picked a thing. It didn't end up being the big thing. Name of my sex tape after a night in the club. Yeah. Also, okay. Oh, Lily, I could play D&D or GURPS. And right. Yeah. Lily, there's a song. I don't know if you know it. You may not know it because, Roger Zelazny, this immortal. So there's a song that, Lily, I suspect you don't know because I suspect that you are not ancient like I am. This is probably the case. No, it is not Pictures of Lily. There's a song, and I'm going to sing it, even though it will probably get me in trouble. But what do I care? It was a song that was, because I lived in Europe between 1992 and 1997. I lived in Germany. So my 20s was Euro disco. That was like my 20s. If you want to know about some good Euro disco, I was there in the club with the Euro disco in the 90s. And there was a song that was super popular by 20 Fingers featuring Gillette, I think is the band. And it was called... this is inappropriate. What I'm going to share with you all now is going to be inappropriate. But it's like, I'm only singing it because of what Lily Sparks said, so it's not even my fault. It was, the song was called Short Dick Man. And it's like super, you're just like, don't want no, don't want no, don't want no short dick man, don't want no, don't want no short dick man. And then the singer says things, that's gotta be the shortest dick I've ever seen in my entire life. Get the heck out of here. She doesn't say heck, right? Eeny weeny, teeny weeny, shrivel little short dick man. Don't want. And it's like real, like 4 on the floor. And it goes on. There's a lot in that song. And thank you, Coldrake. Mutes. Krella knows the song too. Okay, some people know this song. Some people know the song. Some people know it. Yes, some people know the song. And the thing that really got me, the thing I thought was so hilarious about this was that I was in the clubs and I did not think that all the Germans in the club knew what this song was about. That's all that I'm saying. So like I'm sitting there in the club in Germany and all these people are dancing to it and I was like, I don't think you all know what the song is saying. And it was huge here too. Oh, cool. I didn't know if it was popular here in the States. But Sammy's like, but I bet a lot of them did though. Yeah, I bet a lot of them did too. I prefer the song about the two lasses who come upon the drunk Scotsman who fell asleep in the tree. They just like the beat. The beat was really good though, and of course, one of the best parts of that song for me is that the singer she did this laugh, like just the way that they sampled it. It was But I was like, oh my goodness, this song. Also, Barantor, I'm not talking about dirty things anymore. You can go this way. I don't think I can move though. Oh, I can. All right. I'm done with the inappropriateness. All right, they found his home, and now we're gonna watch Community and Veg. Oh, thank you for being here. I'm clear, but I'm also not. I have nothing else inappropriate to say. Oh, ooh, look at that, everybody. It doesn't matter, Jabrite unmuted a while. It's fine. Have a great evening, and also, Ms. Sparks, I will see you. I will see you. Also, I figured out how to do this. I will see you tomorrow. Glad I don't know you, Ben, but I see you won first prize. Yes, I will see you. Aethers. Also, I just want you to know I figured out how to move around this thing. Oh, here we go. Ooh. I feel very special right now because where do you think we're going? Here we go. All right. I will, Lily, I will see you in Aethers. Enjoy Community. Seems to show up just enough for my virgin ears to be safe. Yes, Distar, you did not hear the dirty, inappropriate things that I said. I've become Peter Pan. I know, I get so magical, right? Ooh. Oh, Oh, okay. Ooh. Okay. There's a little bit of a trick here, isn't there? Y'all, I have a question for you. And it's about young adult films, because we talked a little bit about young adult novels, and I'm wondering if you might have some things to say about young adult films. And I ask this because I had a lot of thoughts recently about young adult films. Growing up, we had a lot of films, young adult films, some of whom were really inappropriate. Just gonna note that one for the record. Like Ms. Peregrine, School for Gifted Children. I was thinking about, of course you could say the classics, the John Hughes films. Oops. It's just been super inappropriate, and literally the first word I heard when I came when incest was escalating from there. Look, I'm just telling you, there was a lot going on in the 80s, is all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. Can I get this? Can I do it? 16 can't. Porkies, right? So I was thinking about all of these 1980s sex comedies that were super naked, had a lot of nakedness in them. Yeah, Porkies, Revenge of the Nerds, My Private Tutor, Risky Business. And man, there was and I just found a website that was talking about all the 80s sex comedies, of which there were a lot, all the slasher flicks as well. Oh, okay, all right, hold on. But then there was of course, Pretty in Pink, 16 Candles, that kind of every 80s movie set in a ski lodge. But there were other, in the 80s we showed Kids Secret of Nim because it was animation, yeah. Zapped, oh my gosh, Lord Arctic Frost. I thought I was the only person who remembered Zapped, which was not a good movie. I'm glad I'm not the only one who remembered that movie. Better Off Dead. For those of you who do not remember Zapped, you're probably better off for it. But Zapped was a film where Scott Baio and Willie Ames, they were in it, and they Scott Baio gets psychic powers, and his psychic powers, like basically telekinesis, and it allows him to he has telekinesis, which he uses to take off women's shirts, is basically what happens. Is yeah. I mean, my generation of American Pie, well, that's fair, but were there, I doubt there were boobs in American Pie, because society has gotten just less with the boobs than it was in the, like, there were a lot of boobs in movies in the 70s and 80s, is all I'm trying to say. Like, a lot of boobs. And, ooh. Okay. In ways that we just don't do now. Like there were a lot of boobs. Dazed and Confused. Oh, there were boobs in American Pie? Oh. It did. There was also, but there were also some films that were not sex comedies that were a bit more, okay. They were a bit more emotional? Ooh, I'm gonna die. Oops. They just brought this up recently in the news. Most of the non-vacation of the National Lampoon Repeats. Oh yeah. It was, do you remember, like there were a bunch of these films that were non-comedies that were like not Meatballs. Oh my gosh, Meatballs. Oh, are you ready for the summer? But do you remember, okay, Little Darlings, which was Chris McNichol and Tatum O'Neal, coming of age drama. My Bodyguard, which made me cry. Chris Makepeace and Adam Baldwin, maybe? My Bodyguard, Little Darlings, Bless the Beast and the Children, which was about kids who I think were sort of juvenile delinquents who were trying to stop the killing of buffalo, actually. Oh, okay. How do you think I'm gonna get over here? The plot of American Pie was basically a bunch of guys trying to lose their virginities by prom. There was a movie about that. Do you remember the movie? It was like an 80s movie about this. And as someone who actually went to band camp, I never heard the end of that. Oh no. I remember all of these and how if the cover was too risque, I couldn't rent them from the video store. If it wasn't, I could go with it. Yeah. Billy Jack. Oh my gosh. Yes. But do you remember, so there was one that I remember. That I remember. Okay, let's, Weird Science. Oh, Weird Science was so awful. Gosh, that movie made me uncomfortable. I lived for cartoons in the late 50s to the death of the decent cartoons in the 80s. Oh, yeah, there's some great cartoons. But do you remember, there was a movie about losing your virginity. It was a bunch of dudes who promised to lose their virginity, and I do not remember the name of this film, and I think it had something to do with going to a brothel in Canada. It was like it was an 80s, it was one of these 80s movies. Oh, nope. Do you remember? Oh, Space Camp. I remember Space Camp. Goonies, Xanadu, Flight of the Navigator was a great one. Cloak and Dagger, War Games, Weird Science. Barrington, what was the name of that one? Do you remember? I don't remember the name of, I don't remember the name of it either, but it was like, and I think they didn't. Like, maybe they didn't actually. Yeah, they weren't old enough to drink, right? That was like part of the whole thing. They weren't old enough to drink, and that's why they went to Canada. Right. And there was a thing about Niagara Falls, I think. Yeah, I wish I could remember the name of that one, but for the life of me, I really can't. The Last Starfighter. The Last Starfighter was another one, like Flight of the Navigator. Of course, oh, hey. There was another one. This is beautiful, by the way, everyone. Last Starfighter. Yeah. There was, Ooh. Thank you. We're talking about young adult films from... I don't think it was Porky's. I don't think Porky's was... I don't think it was Porky's. Misfits of Science, the TV show, one of my faves. You know, there were a lot of brothel films in the 80s too. Risky Business was a brothel film. Dr. Detroit was a brothel film. Yeah, the 80s were super degenerate. They were super degenerate. There were a lot of brothel films in the 80s, I think. Yeah, no, I think Porky and the Seven Floors, but there was something about going to like Niagara Falls. I really don't remember the name of that one. 80s kids films was The Wizard. Oh, The Wizard. Of course, Losing It. Yeah. Losing It was another one. There was one, The Flamingo Kid, which was like about like, and of course, Dirty Dancing. Night Shift. Oh, yeah, there were just a lot of brothel films. What was going on in the 80s? What was happening in the 80s? Why is the 80s that? Country Losing It is a 1983 American-Canadian comedy directed by Curtis Hanson, starring Tom Cruise, Shelley Long, Jackie Earle Haley, and John Stockwell. The plot concerns 4 teenagers trying to lose it. It was probably Losing It. That was probably it. And it's interesting, right? Because something like Back to the Future was clearly a mainstream big budget film, but I never got the sense that those teen comedies were mainstream big budget films. Like also Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Animal House, a lot of cocaine in the SAP. That's what was happening in the 80s, probably. Because something else, the to-do list, the Virginity hit list, Easy A, Block, yeah. There was just like, but besides American Pie, do they do that nowadays? Like, what are the young adult films of now? Like, when I think about the young adult films of now, I think about like The Hunger Games, the Divergent series. I suppose and it's tricky because a lot of the films that are clearly thinking about having a teenage audience are also thinking about having an adult audience, and I'm thinking now about like all the Marvel films. Well, they were marketing to a target audience who maybe for the first time in their lives able to watch adult-esque movies without adult supervision. Also maybe money laundering. Well, Death Star Taco, I would not put money laundering past them at all. Superbad, yes. Superbad, Jer, which then brings up all of the all those films with what's his face, with the guy from Superbad. Bill and Ted was 80s. Hunger Games also fits in there. Coldrake. Michael Cera, right? So he was in Superbad. Well, Coldrake, although it's weird because I'm gonna actually flip it on you. I think that people are way less okay with boobs now than they were in the 80s and 70s. Like, there were boobs everywhere in the 70s, and Jonah Hill too. There were boobs everywhere in the 70s and 80s. Everywhere. There were just boobs all over the place because we didn't have PG-13, right? So there was no PG-13. So there were all these R-rated movies that were basically aimed at teenagers with boobs everywhere. And yeah, were there more movie theaters in the 80s? Wasn't the rise of the multiplex? I think so. Wait, if they're good, like there were boobs in and there were always like gratuitous boobs. There were boobs in Logan's Run, just boobs everywhere, just in like really gratuitous boobs that just did not need to be there at all. Yeah. And there in the gratuitous boobs were made fun of in the first Airplane movie, where everybody's in panic, everyone's like freaking out, and someone just like runs through the screen with boobs, like for no reason. So like, but I think that nowadays we would be, it was all the casual section of the 70s that flew in the 80s. Yeah, I think that's true. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like flash boobs as a chuckle. There were just like so many. Yeah, funniest, most useless boob shot had to be Under Siege cake scene. Yeah. And Trooper, all your German friends are laughing at you right now. Yes, they are. But then the weird thing is that I think we've gotten less. There are far less boobs now. Like, I see lots of movies nowadays, and I don't see boobs all over them. Whereas the 80s, there was just a lot of boobs in teen movies. Like, there are no boobs in any of the Hunger Games movies, is all I'm saying. None. No boobs. So clearly we've sort of become, it's just, I think we are oddly more conservative and also less conservative when it comes to sexuality today than we were in the 80s. And I don't really know what to do with that. Like, it's interesting to me. Like, you know, like we're weird. Like it's weird. Like in some ways we're more conservative, and then in some ways we are less conservative than we were in the 80s. And I don't know what to do with that. That's all. Thank you, Jer. I think it's about the power dynamics. I should, yeah. Because most of those boobies were like kind of just sexist, pandering, objectification things. Coldrick says, when I was in Germany in the mid to late 70s, bare boobs were no big thing. It's true. After coming from the US after the theaters, went apeshit about the girl from Goldfingers. Yeah. 80s Hunger Games would have been boobs at Palooza. That's probably true. And the things, like, I just want to say that all those boobs in the 80s were clearly sexist. You know what I mean? Like, they were clearly sexist. Like, that's just it. Like, they were gratuitous. They were pandering. They were sexist. They were clearly saying that we care about teenage boys and not teenage girls. They were often done in ways that made me feel very uncomfortable. There's a lot more ass now, though. I think that's true, Baron Tor. There is a lot more ass now than there was. There was a lot of boobs now, and that's true. The wrapping is off the gift. No one cares about blatant nudity. But Hawkeye, I don't think that's true, because you don't see as many boobs in our films today as you did before, right? So clearly something is different. Maybe we're more PC now, by which I mean they can see so much more on their PC that there's a little market for movies. But you're right, that actually might be a really good point. That might have been more the point. And it was the only way most teen boys learn about female body face beyond. Can you distract yourself from the boob top long enough to get a good save point before you need to stop for tonight? Well, that's fair. Where the Sun King lives, and my friend is trapped in here. The Sun King? Yes, the Overseer. But what about the Moon Overseer? Oh, she's back the way we came. Why are there two Overseers here? And I don't understand your question. I thought they all lived really far apart. Well, we used to be further apart.
Somebody's watching me.
A long time ago. I always feel that somebody's watching me, and I have no privacy. Whoa, I always feel that somebody's watching me. Tell me, is it just a dream? Thank you so much, Friends Roll Dice. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in, Friends Who Roll Dice. We're talking about the difference between the 80s and now, actually, right, in terms of like conservatism and boobs, butts. And Curlin says the difference is chipper gore. I think that's actually true. After being shut in and watching way too many episodes of Botch fixing boob jobs, boobs have lost most of their appeal. Yes. You see more with European cast crew than a US one. GOT has a lot of boobs. And here's something that's really interesting. Game of Thrones had a lot of boobs, and people complained about it. People were like, oh my God, there are boobs in Game of Thrones. What is going on? And like there were people who were scandalized by the boobs in Game of Thrones. And I remember thinking, that's so interesting that people are scandalized by the amount of boobs in Game of Thrones when that was like the entire 80s teen film genre. You know what I mean? And like that says something about how we've shifted a little bit in the way we deal with those things in the US. Don't they do dishwashing liquid adverts with boobs in Europe? In Europe, but also when I lived in Germany, people were just naked. I'm like, you'd go to the river and people would be naked. People were just more naked, but it wasn't sexualized. Do you know what I mean? Like it wasn't particularly sexualized. Fatal Whispers Ray apologizes for not following. Oh, no worries. No worries. Yeah, GOT has so much sleaze stuff on it. We will definitely be looking back, mostly satire in 10 years. And like, so you need to be getting I watched some European films on Netflix and they seem to have more boobs too. Yeah, Europe is not as nervous about bodies as we are. Yeah, my brother's ex-wife got really upset about the nudity in Game of Thrones. Yeah, I know a lot of people did. Having boobs and curses deliver HBO as a business model. But that's like, we're HBO, we can have the boobs. People are scandalized by the boobs in Game of Thrones and not the incest. Creep me out. Understandable. It's the attempt at making shows less objectifying of women. Yeah, and so like, because like all the boobs in the 80s were very objectifying of women. That's what they were. I think you get a lot of boobs on premium TV, Netflix included, so there's less movie boob. Oh, uh-huh. And of course, Game of Thrones had a lot of female fans, yeah. What made me giggle is most people who like Game of Thrones hated that there was so much penis and they couldn't see the irony. Yes! Yeah. Haven't spoken since the Tavern Talks we did together, and this is a helpful topic. Yeah, we're sort of just talking about, like, we're HBO, we have all the boobs. Yes. So the Puritan plus Geit site in the States is still the foundation. Yeah. Maybe right about Jared with The Witcher has some ass, but nobody really complained since it was mostly girl. Yeah. Yes. A long time ago, but now we're very close. So the castle's moved? Yes. So it's is that strange? I guess not. So for me, what I think is interesting is that people always sort of assume that we always have more nudity than less nudity, but actually we have less nudity now than we did in the 70s and early 80s. And I think some of this had to do with, I think it's true, right? The Tipper Gore, there was like a big sort of think of the children kind of backlash. But also, to be honest, there are also, people can just watch pornography if they want to. Do you know what I mean? Like if people really want to watch pornography, they can just watch it on their computer. So maybe you don't need boobs in films anymore. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I strongly avoided watching Game of Thrones, read the books, and found them to be largely kind of stupid violence for no sake other than violence and edge. I feel like I made the right call, to be honest. Ooh, okay, all right. So it's going to be a little bit of a... Okay. There's going to be a little bit of shenanigans here, I think. Yeah, okay. Okay. Even though it was the 21st century, we in the US are still doing early 20th century thing, pretending sex and human bodies aren't happening, even though it was happening. It'll take me longer to figure out how to do that. Squirrels! Just roll. So, that didn't work out. It's fine. Clearly, it's a bit of a puzzle right there. See what's there are two different ways to go. I don't know which way to go. This way? Okay. Also, maybe back in the 80s, they could get actors who wanted to break into the biz for underscale, but also willing to bear it all, and now nude scenes mean a higher scale higher. Oh, I think that's actually true. Yeah, free boobs were on the internet. No one goes to movies to see boobs anymore, which they used to. But people still sometimes go to movies to see specific famous boobs. Although those are usually body double boobs. I've read all the Game of Thrones. I actually like it, but I understand that it is not for everyone. And I'm okay with that. Because, you know, not everyone's gonna like it. I also, by the way, don't know where I'm going. So that's the puzzle. Woo. Okay. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Game of Thrones has the best multi-page feast descriptions, which is fair. I wonder how the cable soft core porn factors into this. Ooh, that's also probably a really good point. But also, I'm thinking about something. Like, seriously, though, all those boobs in the 80s were sketch. And I mean that by... When I say that, what I mean is I'm thinking about the actors that had to go topless. These were mostly women, and most of them were like really young actors, and they had to go and like be topless in these movies because it was part of the job. Fast Times at Ridgemont, like a lot. And do you remember the movie Fame? Do you remember Fame? And which I watched as a kid, right? It was like, and there was that scene where Irene Cara, I think it was her. She wanted to get she auditioned for a role, and the guy was like, "You got to take your shirt off," and so she took her shirt off, and then she was crying because she was like so upset that she had to sort of be topless for this audition scene. And of course, the movie also showed her topless, but I kept thinking about the immense pressure women who were actors must have had, especially young women who were like 18, 19, must have had in the 80s to be topless, because all the movies where they could have gotten jobs basically demanded them to be topless, and how that's kind of, you know, that's not cool. That's not cool. That's all I'm saying. I actually had to tell a work person not to try and give Stacy Game of Thrones book 1 when Tim died. She hadn't read it. Oh, yeah. In the 70s, I was supposed to topless when my dad forgot he subscribed to 5 times to Playboy. I read it for the articles. I saw topless as a kid because of Heavy Metal Magazine, which my mom subscribed to. My mom loved Heavy Metal Magazine, which involved, it was this, in the 70s, there were a lot of boobs. Eep. Oh, that's one of them. The monsters that kidnapped my friend. Oh goodness. I'm so frightened. But my friend is deeper in the castle, so I will have to be brave. Oh. This is fine. We just do this. That's it. Like, it's not a big deal. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Also, did you say I was whispering? That's it. And the next exposure was in college. My roommate dragged me downtown in Seattle to see 5 minutes of Deep Throat, then dragged me out to a spaghetti factory. How old is the spaghetti factory, actually? He said once you've seen that bit, that's the entire movie. Trooper, are you trying to say the 70s were for boobs like the internet is for porn? Yes. The only play I ever got was when my girlfriend gifted it to me because it had a Kevin Smith article in it, and she thought my dad would made him hilarious. Yeah. I think I'd have enjoyed GOT more if it wasn't so strongly hyped as realistic for the violence, at least from what I heard, because that was not my view of the books after reading them. Huh, fanhood. Huh. All right, so let's see what we got here. What is your pattern? What is your stealth pattern, my friend? She got mad when I read the article and then tossed it in a drawer to be forgotten. I have a hilarious story about that. Also, how am I going to get through this person right here? This seems to be a problem. I don't know how we're going to do this, because that seems to be a bit of a problem. How are we going to do this, my friend? Not. I got like 10 minutes to sort of deal with this problem. What if you match its site with your song? Maybe I could try that. Oh, nope. Oh, found it. Got out. There we go. Oh, okay. We just learned. We learned a thing. It's very exciting. We learned a thing. Woo. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for the nagging. By the way, you know what though? I was thinking about sauciness. Do you know what I think is actually more saucy than it used to be? I think, weirdly, soap operas. I was watching a soap opera, what do we have here? What can we do? I was watching a soap opera, and, and a modern soap opera, not like a soap opera from the 80s, but like one from more of the now. And it was quite saucy. Like, it's quite saucy for daytime TV. Puppet shows, more saucy. Oh, really? Denise Richards is back on The Bold and the Beautiful? No way. Barentor, I like that we can have this conversation. Also, what are we looking at here? Atomica! Okay. Run away. I'm running away. I'm doing good. I read that Hallmark is making something like 30 Christmas-themed movies this year. That number probably isn't right, but it was so many. That is a lot. I'm not that excited about Christmas, to be honest. Origami Shurkin says, I started reading sci-fi because I got so tired of the Christian historical romance formula of a dysfunctional married couple being passive-aggressive and never expressing their feelings or communicating with each other. Oh my gosh. I remember when entire colleges shut down so everyone could watch daytime soaps and at night for oh my gosh. Dynasty Dallas, they were like everything. Question, did anybody here remember not being freaked out by puppets in kid shows? Oh, I remember loving the Fraggle Rock. Oh, there's a key. Okay, there's a key there. I'm fine with puppets, but I hate porcelain dolls and small statues. Atomica. Then you probably would be less key. Let me carry this for you. I've decided to try being brave, but I'm very new to it. So I'm taking small baby steps, such as carrying keys for my friends and things like that. Please be patient with me. Yeah, no worries. Cool. No judgment. It's cool. It's cool. Woo. Fraggle Rock and RPGs went hand in hand. Yes. I liked Fraggle Rock and Muppets, but I hated ventriloquist dummies. Well, that worked for I Love Lucy. I never liked how most of the situations for the comedy was them lying or not communicating. Oh, Death Star. Death Star. Death Star. It's one of the reasons why I don't tend to like most romantic comedies, because it usually involves people lying to each other in ways that I don't like. And that makes me sad. Whew. Okay. I love the Friday the 13th TV show. They had a really creepy... Oh, nice. My son, when young, loved Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a cartoon. We had a nearby mall where a person was in TMT costume, and he freaked because instead of being a tiny turtle, it was a huge TMT. Super Brave Monster. Yeah, I just remember this one specific show with a very uncanny valley realism and puppets. And I watched it attentively. My mom had no idea it was out of a terrified fascination more than anything. Oh, are you thinking about Super Rave? Are you thinking about that one where they're kind of marionettes? There was like, I think there's more than one. It was like they were kind of like weird marionettes with like kind of big heads, and they were like in space. Do you remember that one? It was like, do you remember? Like Thunderhawks. Thank you, Carlin. Thunderhawks. Yes. Yes. By the way, do we need to keep going this other direction? No. Yes. Yes? I think it was British. Oh, frogs. You know what? I think we can go the other direction. And... yes. I feel very productive. I feel like you don't even know. Okay. This seems a little awkward. How am I gonna get here? I think it might have been, you would have hated the old 60s shows. Marionette Special Live Action, Fireball, Supercar Stingray, yeah. I think we might be at a close... Oh, there's a key right there. There's the key. How do I do this? Also, do you notice we're pixelating right now? I think we might have to speed through it. Let me jump over this one. Because maybe we can find something interesting this way. Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, okay. Okay. Well, okay. We're making choices. Oh, hi. No, I just died. Oh my gosh, I died. That was bad. I'm just saying. Oh, no, leave me alone. Ah! I died. Sorry, my timing was off. My timing was off. The stop action animation with Thunderbirds, the animation with Silverhawks. Oh, When you mentioned the puppets, I thought you meant Thunderbirds. Yeah, no, I was thinking Captain Scarlet. Like, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of. That's exactly what I was thinking of. So, all right, so we're gonna... I have an idea. Woo! That was it. So you got it. I don't know if I really should try to get that other one. You know what I mean? Because I should have maybe gotten the other one, but we're gonna just do our thing. Like we're making choices, and we're not getting that one. We're getting the other one. Oh gosh. So Here's our problem. Oh, no. I think we're gonna be fine. I got it. We're gonna be fine. I got this. Can we all agree Puppet Master was a good time? Do you remember, does anybody else remember the Croft Super Show, where they had live action, like Speed Buggy was live action before it was a cartoon, Electro Woman and Dyna Girl, Kiss was like the host? Do you remember? I do. Ooh, did you see that? How do you like them apples as like awesomeness? Do you see how productive we are right now? I can't even believe it. Yeah, with Mural, yes. Right, did you see my pro gamer move? I feel very fancy right now. And by that, oh, hey, look, it's the friend. Eep. I love the theory that he actually lives in a perfectly normal world. You're just seeing how a dog would see all these weird... Yes. I liked them apples crispy, but it's time to save and get ready for CR. This is true. I'm going to just see if I can get over there, and then we're done. Eep. That's my friend, Sunny. Hey. Are you okay? I hope. Sunny, it looks like you are locked in a very big cage. I hope. I'm very sorry about that. I was not brave enough to find you by myself. My new friend helped me get here. That's okay. But you will be very proud of me. I have been practicing being brave by helping my friend carry keys and things like that. Yep. Flying frog. I have 10 times scrolls up. That's it. This isn't Civilization. You don't get one more turn. Civilization. You know what? I find games like Civilization, it's hard to stop those games. That's all. That's cool. We are going to bust you out. I promise. We will find the key, and I will carry it all the way here. Okay. I couldn't tell if those were boobs or butts. This is how our conversation goes. Thanks, buddy. So, I feel like we were going to get a key, and we're going to find that key, and we're going to win. Like, that's it. Oh. Okay. Space Ghost! Thunder the Barbarian, which I loved. Jabberjaw, Captain Caveman, the Teen Angels. Oh, Wacky Racers, yes. Woo! Did you see that? Did you see my coolness right there? Let's see what we got. Okay. Okay. All right. It's not bad. I don't have a lot of space for this jumping, but we're not bad. And then Space Ghost was better when he's a talk show. I'll take it. So we've got we got stuff. I also do you remember the Brady kids had a cartoon, as did the Jackson family. They also had a cartoon. And what are we looking at? I just gotta get away to... I just need to find... Okay. No problem. Oh my gosh, C-Lab, Johnny Quest. Yeah, the Jacksons had it. Also, there was a... Oh. Hey, this is the big thing we gotta finish. Yeah, there was like a Fat Albert. Yes, there was a Brady Kids cartoon. I think it was called the Brady Kids. Zoom. How do you think we get this one, people? Oh, I remember the Pebbles and Bam Bam cartoon. Yes. Okay. Johnny Quest on a Friday night show. Yeah, they were considered more adult cartoons. There is one moment. Oh. I tried. It's gonna kill me. It's cool. I'm gonna run. Get the key. Yep. Run away. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna just keep running, everybody. I'm running. This is what I'm doing. I'm running. And I got caught. That's fine. It's fine. I got caught. It's okay. I do think there's a way to do it. I think we can do it. And I think it has to do with just waiting for the right moment. That wasn't it. I was ready. The problem is he's so fast. It is a timing thing, and it's just so fast. I wonder if there's like more than one rhythm. So I think one is a little bit faster. Yeah, the Flintstones was just the honeymooners. Just the honeymooners. And go. Go. I'm running. I'm running away. Run. I'm just gonna run. It's gonna be like madness, but I'm running. Run. Nope. All right, go. Nope. Running. 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 Oh my god. That was it. It was just running. This is how we end our stream. Sonny, buddy, did you see? I carried the key all the way to you. Yep. Yeah, I did it, buddy. I'm proud of ya. Thank you. And now we make our escape. Oh, all right. We're gonna escape. We're gonna escape. And we're gonna make our escape, and that'll be our end of stream. That'll be it. And then I'm gonna feel very, very productive. Boom, everybody. Everybody. Backstreet's back. All right. That's that one, right? That's Backstreet, right? Yeah. No. I just was like, oh. I feel like this is where we're gonna we gotta talk to Miriam. You're leaving already? Did you meet the overseer? No. There were complications. I'm helping these fairies escape. Typical. The castle got bad. It's full of evil monsters. And I think I saw the overseer, but he was all haunted. Where is there to escape to? Well, there's the eclipse. It's a portal out of the spirit world, but we can't reach it without our little wings. You two want to leave the spirit? You two want to leave the spirit world? Yep. We should help them, Miriam. They're super nice, I promise. Well, all right. Hang on tight then. Aw. Everybody, rock your body. Oh, hey, I'm all for flashbacks. You can have flashbacks with us without having LSD. Okay, great. Now we can... Oh, no! Oh, no! I don't like the hero. You losers! Miriam! Do you have any idea what you've done? Letting more creatures out of the spirit world, putting more innocents in harm's way? Wake up, Miriam. Please wake up. I'm so sick of your meddling. You are making everything worse. This is... Finish the conversation, then we're gonna go. It's the evil hero. It's just a skip to the left and a jump to the right. Why would you do this? Miriam didn't do anything wrong. You aren't listening to me. Yes, she did. Do you see what's behind me? It's the Moon Overseer's castle. But I was there earlier and it was way further away. The spirit world is collapsing. 3 out of 7 overseers are dead now. Each one gone makes this world lose stability. It's all shrinking now. Everything is getting closer and closer together. And the things are leaking out into our world. or getting squeezed out. This is how it starts. The dark ages that will consume our world. Well, I don't care. You didn't have to hurt her. How are we supposed to know not to do that? That's exactly right. You don't know. It's why you shouldn't even be here. Uh-oh. People, once our cutscene's done. Okay, everybody. Ooh. Oh. What is going on? It's the Overseers. Their personalities are dying. Their forms are deteriorating. They're turning into animals driven by instinct. We have to stop them getting out at any cost now. Didn't think I'd be fighting 2 Overseers at once. Luckily, I have just the thing. The Potion of Power! No, I've got 1 minute, Atomica. I've got 1 minute. Thanks again for getting me this. I knew it would come in handy. I just had to wait for the cutscene. I finally saw the Rock Horror Picture Show last year at a local con, had Barry Bostwick intro the movie, and I sat right in front of the dude that screamed comments at the right times, drawing through them. Nice. I know, I'm just looking for a save point. Ha, they didn't even notice us. No, save point. They're fighting for what little space is left. I just want a save point. I just want a save point. And then I'm gonna go, eat some food, then be back for Critical Role. They destroyed each other. Guess I didn't need that potion after all. Not much left here now. I guess you can still get your silly song thing, right? It's gonna get much, much worse from here. Just so you know, the spirit world is almost completely collapsed. I was supposed to kill all the Overseers before this happened, but it's too late now. You don't belong in this story. This is where we're going to go. This is our save point. Yes, it is. This is our save point. Right? Only 1 minute over. Only 1 minute over. That's it. Save. Yep. Did it. That's it. Ooh, that was a big high point. I don't know what's going to happen next, but I hope we can save Miriam and all the things. So here's what's up, y'all. It's the end of the stream. Was it good? There we go. The hero Caldrake is a super creepazoid, super creep, and it just went. So, Super SJP, that's me. You can find me at all of the places. We've got a Discord, and you can join us at the Discord. It's very friendly. If you want, you can follow or subscribe here. You can see the archive of all of the shows on YouTube. You can find me at Academic, and that's also at Trooper SJP. You can find me at Academic Foxhole on Twitter. Also, Academic Foxhole on Patreon, and that Patreon is going to support the shows that I'm doing. So it's mostly to pay the cast and the artists and whatnot. And so what I've got next, Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern at Laugh Love Lindy will be Aether's Walkway. Saturday at noon on my channel will be Outer Worlds. Yes. And then Sunday at 1 p.m., for real though, now that my internet is fixed, will be part 2 of Cthulhu Confidential with Jackie Dash. And it will be good. And Krellin is correct. Creepazoids are bad, but freakazoids are good. And that is true. So thank you everybody for being here. I really appreciate it. I am not gonna raid because I'm gonna just go and cook some food. I've got a pot pie that I'm gonna eat. And so I'm gonna go. Thank you everybody for, y'all are great, and take care of yourselves, and I will catch you on the flip side. And I should say, at 10 o'clock I will be hosting Eastern. So in 40 minutes I will be hosting Critical Role here on this channel if you want to watch it and chat with cool people that are not 50,000 people all at once. So have a nice lovely chat. So that'll be it. And I will see you all. I will see you either later tonight or tomorrow or the day after or next Thursday. Thank you, everybody. Bye, everyone.